Hello, hello, hello. What is up? Our little legal ripples. How are you guys
Hello,
doing today?
everybody.
Sorry I'm moving around so much. I'm getting back in my chair. Hi, Don Hato. Hi, Bandog. Hi, Mr. J. I hope everyone is doing good today.
Oh, it's Mr. J.
Yeah. Having a good day, good night, good evening. Every time I see Mr. J, I immediately I hear it in like the Harley voice.
That's exactly the same thing for me.
Hi, Rain. Hi, Avenge. I gotta shill myself a little bit, chat. I gotta set up my our goal for today. But today, chat, we have two things kind of on the docket. We're gonna do legal hypotheticals that Ava has, which are, if my understanding is correct, really crazy questions.
Yeah, these are actually questions that were at least once on the Ohio bar primarily, and they just are fucking insane. They're just insane bar questions that like wannabe lawyers had to pass and had to accurately answer to get into the bar in Ohio, and it's really funny.
I hear Mr. J, and I think Rosie from the Jetsons. No, that's fair.
Oh, that's another one, yeah.
He was fucking that robot, you know.
What? Are you kidding me? Was it really?
He was definitely fucking that robot. You see how he looks at her?
How?
He fucked the robot. Definitely.
How? But okay, I guess I'm getting too caught up on the logistics of how that would work.
Isn't it wild, though, to think that in the past, when people thought about the future, obviously they thought about, like, flying saucers, but when they thought of robots, they really did just think of something that doesn't look remotely human. It was always, like, big boxy that maybe had, like, semi-human qualities, like a defined head and possibly something that looked like clothes, but they never pictured them as being human. And now when we think of the future and we think of robots, we think of something that is very explicitly human.
You know, I think the reason why is, like, there was a point of, like, trying to make it look human back then would hit too much in the uncanny valley, you know? Now we can kind of get past uncanny valley with how realistic we can make robots look, but, like, that's only really been recently.
Yeah. No, that's a fair point. Daily, I'm reminded of the sadness that we could have had Lawli, Lucy, Feet, Nape, etc., but Ava was cursed with being more Lee than Law.
What?
I'm sorry, I don't follow all that. Does Ava stream this on her end? I do not believe Ava does.
No, I do not. This is a Mizu exclusive stream.
But Ava is the co-host.
This is
and
Mizu's
the very
podcast.
important
yeah,
co-host.
Exactly. I'm just co-hosting.
Probably because of all the examples in movies was because they had to fit a human into it to move it. I mean, a little bit. But, like, we got to CGI pretty quickly. Also, fun fact, R2-D2 was mostly robotically controlled. When they had the person in it, it was just for the scenes where he was, like, shaking back and forth. When he was, like, sort of doing his little walk-waddle thing.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank God, because I was, like, concerned for, like, because there's a picture I remember seeing, like, this little guy, like,
crammed into it.
R2-D2. Like, I'm like, oh my God, how much filming did you have to do in this?
Yeah, so they had two R2-D2s. One was remote controlled. The other was the straight up one that would waddle around on his 2 feet. They could not get that to work particularly well any other way. So they got a little person to just climb into an empty shell and, like, shake it back and forth, trying to walk.
I guess that makes sense.
I know honestly, the R2-D2 guy was better off than the C-3PO guy, because apparently that shit got up to, like, 150 degrees.
Oh, yeah, no, and also he had a allergic reaction to the paint that they used to make him look like the Tin Man. Yeah, no, the filming of The Wizard of Oz specifically, probably like some of the worst conditions in like Hollywood filming.
How do we get on Wizard of Oz?
I don't know.
But no, fair point. But chat, before we get into our legal hypotheticals, I did want to cover an issue that popped up today. Or technically a couple days ago. And I will say, there is a possibility that I am wrong and the person posting this is kind of not being super truthful about it. Because I always have to acknowledge that. But from everything I've seen, they are being truthful about what they're saying. So for those of you who don't know, Rule 34 is a site for Rule 34. Also, I forgot to remove the Fuji text, so there's an extra little Ava down there. But this is, I believe, the owner of Rule 34, or at least he's high enough up that he is receiving the legal threats from people. So I'll just read it all out, so nothing gets left out. Continuing with censorship talk, this might just be a minor inconvenience, but I have had Cam Model Project, or Cam Model Protect, which is a company, to my understanding, that sends out DMCAs on behalf of OnlyFans and Fansly models, which is why it's Cam Model Protect. They've sent over 15 fraudulent DMCAs in the name of Saurai, targeting fan work on Rule 34 and many other sites. When I went to Saurai's Discord to see if we could put a stop to this, I was told by a mod that these DMCAs are legitimate. I then proceeded to contact 10 artists who made fan work, and none said they were commissioned or paid by Saurai. Filing fraudulent DMCAs for fan art people made for you is not only incredibly disrespectful, but also flat out illegal. The copyright of fan art stays with the artist unless you paid for it. In Saurai's defense, there were a couple of images made by Saurai themselves, and we deleted them instantly when the complaint came in, but the notices for the fan art just don't stop. I love VTubers, so I promoted a whole bunch of them on my front page and even printed them for my wall. I've never seen a VTuber be so hostile against their own fan work / artist. This has been going on for a year now. Please stop this. So, Saurai replies to this. She says, a Rule 34 user mod claims I filed fraudulent DMCAs, yet many are works I commissioned or my own Fansly animations. They host my content under a Fansly category while calling my takedowns fraudulent, even though AI slops or fan arts from artists I haven't worked with remain. So something that a lot of people kind of ignored about this picture, because what Saurai wanted you to see was... in the top here, she underlines where it says Fansly, because there is a Fansly category. And in the bottom here, she underlined this VTuber portrayed here files fraudulent DMCAs for all fan art of her, and they point to her Fansly watermark. What she ignores is if you go over to the statistics on the left side under this little meme image, it says posted 7:30/2025 at like 4:21 in the morning. This image was posted a day before her reply to him and a day after his post. So when he made his post, this image didn't even exist on the website. So this is not a fair thing to try and ding him for, because you need to give somebody like 24 hours at least to remove something. I think you're supposed to give them like a week. But he says that his site gets them done within 24 hours. Something else that she doesn't point out is in the bottom left, there is an extra note on this image that says flagged for deletion. So she is submitting an image after he has made his post on this that is already flagged to be deleted because it's a problem. And she doesn't point out any of that. Also, I like to point this out because I think it's funny. Mugen, of all people, replies, this MF would probably steal a car and then say he's being censored and the police throw him in jail. Common complaint I have with Mugen is he just immediately sides with the big VTuber, and he basically never does any research until somebody else does it for him. It's very annoying, and it's very bad faith.
Yeah, that's Mugen.
So to come back to this guy, he makes a follow-up post. This is in response to Samurai's post that he added later. There were some questions and a false community note leading to a post with no evidence. Allow me to clear things up. First of all, Samurai's tweet, based on the linked image, is a single paid post that was posted a day after this tweet was made and has already been deleted. It's against our terms of service to upload paid content such as Fanbox, Patreon, Fansly, etc. However, they claim ownership and still want to take down all fan work. This is one example of DMCA's targeting all of her fan work. The only reason those posts remain is because we chose to lose our safe harbor by not accepting the DMCA. DMCA needs to be checked before being sent. There is no excuse for targeting fan works. We have received copies of this DMCA 15 times since the beginning of 2024.
That's a lot.
We have sent over 11 emails in an attempt to get this resolved and were ignored. That's also why after a year of abuse, this notice was put up. Some of the artists I contacted to ask if they were okay with their content being on R34, none of them were paid or commissioned. And he lists 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different artists he has reached out to. The attached image is a conversation I had with a mod. Their argument is that they have the right to submit DMCAs for the entirety of Samurai's tag because the artists themselves did not upload it. None of this makes sense, considering they have no copyright over those images and are therefore knowingly submitting fraudulent DMCAs.
Nor they represent it, like, they can't represent the artists that didn't upload these things. That's not how this works.
Yeah. If Cam Model Protect stops submitting DMCAs for fan work, the message will be removed. We'll, of course, always delete any paid content. Our turnaround for DMCAs is 24 hours. You can stop messaging me with slurs now. That is one thing that, again, so like in fairness to Samurai and to the Cam Model Protect people, technically neither of them said this. But it says, the fan arts are repost. If you can verify the uploader is also the artist, then there is, of course, no issue. However, as far as I can see, most are labeled as being posted by bot. You cannot file DMCAs on someone else's behalf unless you are their lawyer. You can't just do that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Also, just because the other artist didn't post it doesn't necessarily mean they didn't give someone permission to post it.
For you to do that is DMCA abuse, and it's illegal.
Yeah, you can't do stuff like that. It's extremely inappropriate. And they just kind of pretend like it's alright. It's not. So he posts this Google Doc, which gives an example of all the fan work they targeted. And this is what their DMCA notice looks like.
I'll be right back to 2 seconds.
Fair. And they do clarify, the company that sends it, this content that is hosted and are shared through your service illegally is premium content that is created and copyrighted by our client. No. You're telling me all of this is Samurai's premium content? He also mentions that DMCA notice got sent to Danboro, which is another porn hosting website. And I can actually show this because this is how much got removed. This is what Samurai's tag on Danboro looks like right now. And this image right here on the far right is the oldest image on this website. It was posted 6 days ago. So this was probably posted after the DMCA came in, So they actually just have deleted every single piece of fan work from her site, and these 3 are just stuff that was uploaded after. So yes, they are just sending blanket DMCAs to have everything removed. Posted by bot. The amount of artists I know who use a bot to multi-post on platforms makes that point invalid. That's also true. Baked Buddhist for 2.
Alright, we're back.
Hey, I look good. You just come back in just in time. Baked Buddhist, super chat for 2. What's the punishment for abusing DMCA?
Oh, let me bring this up specifically.
And also, thank you, Magma, membership for 3 months. Boy, everyone's membership renewed at the same time.
Violating the Digital Millennium Copyright Act can result in significant penalties, including hefty fines and even imprisonment. Specifically, criminal penalties for copyright infringement. But we're looking at fraud. Hold on.
While you do that, I'll be right back. Give me 5 seconds.
Doing weirdness. Okay, so right here, damages. So I'm just reading through. Okay. Oh, cheerio. Criminal perjury charges. Here we go. DMCA notices require a statement made under penalty of perjury, certifying the accuracy of the claim. Knowingly submitting false information in DMCA notice constitutes perjury, a federal crime punishable by fines, probation, or even imprisonment, depending on the severity of the offense. There you go. So it really depends, but it does constitute perjury. And I'm trying to bring up there's chat. There you are. So it really would be up to the courts and like how severely they would want to throw the book at you for committing perjury and for falsifying, committing fraudulent DMCA notices. But yeah, the courts do not look on it favorably. We can at least confidently say that. Purge the perjury. If she said that, then the fans would do even more. Okay, so it's not some crazy fan. This is somebody doing it with her blessing. We don't know, really, honestly. Well, actually, no, we do. This is sorry. She's actually mentioned that, yes, she has done this. And what has happened is I do believe that she hired this firm to handle, these kind of requests for her, but that firm has in turn used an AI or bot of some kind that is sending out fraudulent DMCA notices for every piece of fan art on that tag, which is improper.
Yes. Also,
you can perjure yourself outside the courthouse. Yes, you can. If you submit a DMCA notice on something that you have the copyright over, but like you're doing it improper or whatever, that is paramount to committing perjury. You are submitting the DMCA notice under oath because it's something that goes right before interacting directly with courts.
The theory I saw on this is the firm Cam Model Protect typically works with actual Fansly models, like girls that post nudes of themselves. So they're not used to dealing with a client where a large percentage of their work...
Where it's a model and fan art, I got you.
Yeah, is not, like, used to fan art. Because typically with a Fansly model, if somebody is posting their stuff anywhere, it was definitely stolen from them. Because
this makes sense, yeah.
Nobody else has like access to their body, so they can't take pictures of it. But with a VTuber, anybody can draw them. So they're just saying, okay, it's a picture of Sarai, therefore they definitely stole it.
Exactly, but does that still mean they're using some kind of AR bot to detect it? Because there seems to be a lack of quality assurance here. Like
Yeah.
double checking, crossing your T's, dotting your I's.
Well, yeah, because the site's tried to reach out to them multiple times and is just getting ignored. Which I think
and
would
they
do
keep
well
sending
for
the
the
requests,
site,
so
like
they-
in
they-
court,
they
if
did
it went
some
that way.
automated system.
Yeah. I think it would do well for the site in court, too, if they show up to court and they're like, well, look, Your Honor, we literally messaged them, dozens of times trying to resolve this, and they're just straight up not answering our emails.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you would do. But again, like you said, Rule 34 is hesitant to bring this to the courts because they don't want the legal eye on, the subject matter of those websites.
Yeah.
Drawing is free reign. So long as the person that you are drawing is not, like, directly, based off of somebody, that can actually get you in trouble.
Oh, yeah, so I had to mention this.
But it's so long as it's fictional.
Now that you mentioned that. So one thing I told Ava before we did this, and one thing I said on Twitter that really annoys me, is nobody knows what the fuck copyright is in the VTuber space. Like, yes, I do own copyright to the Mizu model. That does not mean I own copyright to the concept of Mizu. I own, like, the intellectual property of Mizu. But that doesn't mean that every artwork that comes out based on me, I immediately own copyright to that. That's not how that works. And people keep saying, well, Sarai owns the copyright to all of it because it's pictures of her. That's not how that works. The copyright is with the artist who made it. You just annoying. Also, sorry, I'm also eating. I ordered food. I'm hungry. People constantly confuse copyright and trademark, yes. And that's something that just really irritates me. Because everyone just says, oh, it's her copyright. No, it's not her copyright. And trademark is a heck of a lot more complex with a heck of a lot more rules to it. You cannot file a DMCA for a trademark complaint. And yes, Mizu is being a fatty.
I want food.
Should have DoorDashed like me.
I could DoorDash, but I have no money.
True. I shouldn't, because I'm supposed to be saving money and, like, paying off my debts. But I really wanted a burger.
Oh, Jesus, a burger. God damn it.
And this place is pretty nearby and pretty cheap. So, like, even though it's still more expensive than making it myself, it's not so bad. Like, it's $20 for a restaurant quality burger and fries delivered straight to my door.
That's not bad, honestly.
More Mizu to hug. Don't make me feel that fat, chat. Everybody knows that the Mona Lisa is owned by Mona Lisa. Actually, I never asked this. Was the Mona Lisa a commission piece? Because back in the day, typically portraits like that were commission pieces.
I believe it was, yes. And it's technically unfinished, like most of Da Vinci's commissions.
Fair. He's
Yeah,
just
Da
like a
Vinci
real
was
Twitter
typical
artist, for real.
Yeah, no, for real. He absolutely was. Like, this trend of artists failing their commissions has been freaking a thing for literally hundreds of years. It goes way back before VTubers. Da Vinci was skipping out on commissions left and right. He was notorious for it.
That's funny. The confusion between copyright and trademark and patents is not accidental, it's deliberate. Cory Doctorow has a great essay on this. I mean, I don't doubt, like, for some big companies, it's deliberate because it allows them to better confuse, like, clients and the layman. Among the laymen, I don't think it's deliberate.
With patent law.
Yeah. Among laymen, though, I don't think it's deliberate. I think they just are confused by what the companies have told them. Because we actually saw this a lot with the Nintendo Power World thing. where Nintendo kind of released a statement saying that they were looking into it. And everybody was like, well, if a big company like Nintendo says that, then there must be something there. It doesn't necessarily mean there's something there. It means they're going to try to force something there, which they are. Doesn't necessarily mean that there is something there. Not only are big companies not
fair.
like unfalsifiable, they're going to try and bend the law as much as possible. Like, I don't understand why people give big companies and big creators like so much leeway. They're like, oh, they clearly understand it. That's part of the problem. They understand it enough to know how to bend it. At least that's my take.
Oh my god, somebody just gave me burger funds. Thank you so much, Akakun.
Somebody tried to pay for you to get food.
That is what happened.
Are you gonna do it?
I am gonna do it. I'm freaking hungry. And I bet my dad is too.
It's the companies, for example, using copyright to do what, say, patent law is more suited to do, but deliberately doesn't cover. Well, yeah, I've kind of mentioned this before, but the DMCA is heavily abused in ways it was never intended to be used. Because, like, we've already reached the point where if a company receives a DMCA, they just kind of automatically remove your work, and they tell you to prove that it's not somebody else's, which is not how DMCA was intended to work. It was more intended to be, like, sort of a cease and desist that was transferred between a middleman. And it's kind of turned into the company themselves litigating the DMCA on the court's behalf, which is not supposed to be how it works. It's supposed to be like somebody files a DMCA to YouTube. YouTube sends it to you, and the DMCA is basically like, this is our copyrighted work, you need to remove it. And if you don't, YouTube sends them your information, and now they have to take you into court to force you to remove it. Nintendo is one of the worst offenders. They locked out homebrew software by making the console not run carts without a certain starting code, and the starting code would display the logo. I admittedly don't know much about all the weird technological stuff gaming companies have done over the years. I know there's a lot of like really wacky stuff they've done to prevent piracy and whatnot.
Alright, I am back.
Welcome back. I was just whining about DMCA.
Yeah, makes sense.
I was
I'm surprised I haven't gotten any actual DMCA requests yet.
Yeah, I was whining about how instead of using DMCA more as like a copyright cease and desist, a lot of companies use it as a delete all button, because every company that you send a DMCA to typically does just delete all the work without really checking very hard.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's how they do it. Which is careless, to say the least.
Yeah. I don't see it fixing anytime soon.
No, neither do I, sadly.
Because it benefits YouTube and other companies.
GTA Zombie Scout, you absolutely can't. I'll find a way to take that down.
DJ Zombie Scout, this is my lawyer, Ava. She'll be in contact with you.
Yeah. I'll see your ass in court, buddy.
Yeah, we're officially suing all fan artists that draw me in ways I don't like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly.
Reputational damage or some shit. We'll figure it out as we go along.
Intentional infliction of emotional distress.
Oh, that's a good one.
You always gotta add that one.
I have suffered intense emotional damage. I am in therapy over this image.
And then in the complaint, you actually put a gif of emotional damage guy. Yeah.
No, in my complaint, I'm gonna put a gif of my model crying.
I'm like, look at how sad I am.
What the tism today? The current tism at first was DMCA because Saurai and other people are abusing it again. Which
Because
again,
of course they are.
people could say Saurai's not, but when this was brought to her attention publicly, she backed them up. So she's
Yeah, she kind of doubled down. So yeah, she's at the. I mean, look, it's being done on her behalf, and she's in support of it, and she's defended it. So this is very much her doing it.
yeah.
Whether it's through her lawyers or these people filing these DMCA requests or not, it's still like it has her blessing.
This is actually a complaint I've had with a couple different creators that hire these middle companies to do stuff for them, but they still want to pretend like they are very community friendly. So I actually messaged a big YouTuber who does music once, and I asked because it said on their channel that the music was free to use in like streams and stuff, but I wanted to like verbally confirm. It was like, hey, is it okay if I use your music as like the start or the end of my stream? It's not like the focal point or anything. It would just be like an opening or closing song. And he's like, yeah, no, I allow people to use my music for anything. It's fine. And I did it. Next day, immediately got a DMCA report from it. And I sent him it, and I was like, hey, I think this company is doing DMCAs on your behalf. You might want to check that out. And he's like, oh yeah, that's the company I hired to handle like anybody re-uploading my content. And I was like, okay, but they DMCA'd my like 5-hour live stream because I played 3 minutes of your song. And he's like, oh well, yeah,
that's
but
a problem.
that's between you and them. That's not between you and me. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my god, I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch you so much. Oh my god.
I don't show his music anymore.
Are you kidding me? That is ridiculous.
I don't show his music to anybody anymore because I thought I was like, I don't.
Dude, that is so like no, you hired this well, that's between them and not me. Oh man, oh Jesus.
And like you verbally confirmed with me that I was okay to use it, and then I immediately get DMCA'd right after. So I use YouTube's internal thing to just delete the
That's actually
song.
BB No Money, because BB No Money actually put on their stuff that, yeah, they won't do any copyright ID or claims or anything like that. And so I did a cover of Little Freak, and it got DMCA noticed. Like, I mean, no, not DMCA, copyright ID'd, like, immediately.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's paying it out to BB No Money. I'm like, you motherfucker.
It's just so dumb. And they say it like it's it's not my problem. I hired an outside company to do it. It's like it's still your problem, and they're still doing it on your behalf. Like you should care. Yeah. At the very least, you should care. But they don't care, and it's annoying, and I don't like it, and I don't understand why they don't care. I don't know, chat, if I ever hire one of those companies and they start, like, DMCAing people randomly, immediately tell me, because the first thing I'm doing is going to them and being like, you need to fucking stop. Because I told people they could do this. I hired the hitman to kill my wife. It's not on me. She got taken out.
I'll be right back again.
Okay. Hope you're doing good, chat. Debating getting myself food. If you're debating getting yourself food, chat, get yourself food. Never deny yourself the food. Not my problem, that's why I pay those peasants for. That was pretty much how I felt like I was treated, to be honest. And it was it felt wild to me. Like, maybe I am just out of pocket on that, but it felt a little unfair, to be quite frank. Miss part of the stream while I drive to get it. Fair point. Hi, chat, Mizu, and the rotten little undead. And Mizu said, don't be mean to Ava. Ava's a good one. Even if she is a lawyer. You should talk about all those fake PMCAs people do to try and get Nintendo Rule 34 images taken down off Twitter and Newgrounds. I had suspected that was a thing. However, I've never looked into it, so I can't, like, really comment one way or the other, to be quite frank. Super chat for 2. That was gaslight as fuck. It was! And I don't shill their music anymore because I think that was kind of shitty of them. Ava gets all the head pats and shares them with me. Here, I know no one did the super chat for it, but I'll head pat anyways. Oh my gosh, it's my Oshi and she's talking about law. Yes, we talk about law at 2 p.m. every day, or every Wednesday. But we have used Sunday for the last 2 weeks because I had work commitments that I was involuntarily signed up for. But thank you for the donation, Sertano. Yeah, you can use my stuff. The person who will take advantage of you using their stuff. I was quite frankly very upset with it. I still am. I'm still salty. Never forgive, never forget. We will see the Asian court case. What? Slightly happy for the shift changes, even if it sucks for you, Mizu, because usually you have autism and stuff while I'm at work. We will be going back to Wednesday next week, unfortunately.
And we're back.
Oh, welcome back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's fine. So I was just kind of reading the super chats, chatting with our chat peoples.
Very, very nice. We have lunch ordered and on its way.
That's good. What are you going for?
It's not burgers, but it's a couple pretty good made sandwiches from the pizza factory.
Oh, that sounds
here.
nice.
little bit healthier option than burgers. Or doing Canadian bacon.
Understandable. And somebody head patted me.
Oh, head pets. Yeah, I just noticed that.
Read my $5 above my $2. I'm sorry, I didn't see that one. My bad. How to burn bridges with other people in your career field for 500 Alex.
Oh my god, for real though.
I mean, it kind of is, yeah. Like, for those of you who don't know, I don't want to get like too into just like a Saurai shit on stream. Saurai has had like a long history of being seen as confrontational with fan artists. One specifically that upset people a lot.
Not with okay, yeah.
Is she would do fan art competitions, and she would include a piece of the toss that basically said that she retained all rights to any fan work that was submitted for the competition.
Right. I'm remembering who she is now.
Yeah. And to clarify, this is technically a normal thing that other companies do for these kind of competitions. But for like a small artist, it's sort of seen as a really shit action, to be quite frank.
Oh, for sure. I mean, here's the thing. Even bigger corporations who do it are looked on like that was kind of shitty. So if you're an individual or small creator doing it, yeah, sorry, it's equally shitty.
Yeah. It's not typically looked on as a very positive thing.
Boom, yep, we got 2 sandwiches and cheesy breadsticks.
Thank you for the head pats. Fan dog for 5, drive-by head pats.
Drive-by? Oh no. Here, you get some ear wiggles too. I gotta use this toggle more.
I didn't know you had an ear wiggle toggle.
I just got it along with my rage toggle.
Oh, that one?
And another toggle that's incredibly base, but...
The white woman wants to get fucked toggle?
Yeah, that one, yeah.
I can just look at certain other rock and pop bands who did this stuff and they took a big hit on their rap. Yeah, it's one of those things, like, I have to be transparent that yes, a lot of people, specifically companies, do this. Doesn't necessarily mean it's looked on very favorably.
No, it became an us versus them mentality as soon as, especially the music industry started doing this. Record labels and shit, yeah, this is not looked upon favorably.
And I said it kind of in my second tweet follow-up on the Saurai thing, but there's a reason a lot of companies really don't target fan work. It is way more of a reputational hit to your business to be seen as the company that files DMCAs against your own fans and to be tied to lawsuits than it is to have like one or two sus pieces of porn.
Talk about putting a ceiling on your own growth.
Yeah.
Like, you're putting a hard cap on your own growth by treating your fan artists like that.
Yeah, and it's way worse to be seen as somebody who is an artist and very litigious than it is for somebody to see, like, sus porn of you every once in a while.
I mean, there's already a lot of sus porn of me out there, so...
Yeah, but you like it.
Of course I do. And you know what?
I'm pretty sure you paid for half of it.
Her own art on Fansly. No, I haven't. I have not paid for any of it, actually.
Hope.
But I will say this. Sorry is like, she produces her own lewd artwork that she uploads on Fansly, so I know she likes it too.
Yeah. That's one thing that kind of really hurts it, is one of the things you can kind of do with this in IP law is if it's like a reputational harm, which is how a lot of other companies get away with it. Because they're like, oh, we have a very innocent branding, so we don't want like porn of our characters floating around. When your branding is porn, you kind of immediately lose that argument.
Yeah, and that's my problem, yeah.
It becomes very difficult to argue.
Exactly, Mr. Monkey, and usually it's a combination of the two. All I know is if I was a fan artist, I would not be making any pieces of Sorry anytime soon.
Yeah, because it's probably going to get taken down.
Exactly. Then again, what does that do for your growth?
Yeah. It's not helping you at all.
And now people who barely know her, like me, know her as the false DMCA pitch. Pardon my French. And my pun. But... Still though, like, that's how I know her now, is the French VTuber who sends out false DMCA notices.
That argument I'm willing to give Disney, but not a certain size of VTuber. I'm not even really willing to give it to Disney, and Disney doesn't even give it to themselves. They even just kind of collect their porn and put it in a vault.
They hide it in their motion pictures.
The only company I can think of in recent memory who got really heavy-handed with DMCA not safe for work content was Hasbro. Specifically over My Little Pony.
Yeah, Hasbro did get pretty. Yeah, which, I mean, yeah. No, that's gonna happen.
But other companies, even like children-focused ones, typically just don't do anything. Oh, Bluey did it too. I forgot Bluey did it too.
Did they? Oh, Bluey? Really?
Yes. Against the people that made the Warhammer killing furries animation.
Oh, gotcha.
They have an episode where they go to like Bluey's universe. And the commentary in that specific video was actually how about like sort of weird degenerate furries would attach themselves to Bluey and turn Bluey into something sexual. And the company behind Bluey still DMCA'd them, even though it's like, I kind of think these guys might have been on your side a little bit. Because they don't show anything like violent or graphic happening to the Bluey family at any point in it. It's stuff that happens around them, though. They did brutally murder Bluey. It was off screen. You didn't see it.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, there's an implication at the end of it that they're going to kill the family because the Space Marines still see them as Xenos, even if they do sort of agree with them.
Gotcha.
But the killing of the family happens like off screen.
So Warhammer be like Warhammer then.
Yeah. But
gotcha.
They just like black out after the Space Marine kind of makes this statement that they're going to do this.
Sopranos them.
Yeah, you don't see anything happen. It's just we all know what's going to happen.
Yeah, gotcha. There's lines that have been drawn between these dots. There's no denying that. Yeah.
But it still ends up one of those things where it's like, I don't think this is fair. I think they're a little iffy on it.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Because, to be fair, like, I understand why companies want this for some stuff. I am kind of on my kick with, like, ultimate freedom, where I'm like, I don't believe companies should target any of this ever.
I'm kind of on that level too.
Like, I get it. I'm not saying I don't get it. I think it's better if we just didn't. To be frank.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Have you seen it? I'm gonna post this to you.
Sure.
And this is really funny to me because my views at least are up, but according to this, nah.
VTuber PSA, yes, your views are down right now. Most VTubers' numbers are down. On July 29th, 4 days ago, the median number of viewers for VTuber is 15. As of today, the median number is 3. That isn't a typo. 3. Also this evening, 41% VTubers had
Twitch?
1 or fewer viewers. In Twitch's efforts to review viewbotting, a lot of VTubers have seen extreme reductions in view count, although many larger VTubers didn't have the same decrease in viewership. A lot of VTubers seem to lose around half their viewership, while the top few actually saw a slight increase in viewers. It's highly unlikely that 90% of VTubers are viewbotting, so Twitch probably went a bit overboard. So I can already sort of tell you what happened here.
Good. Because this is all Twitch shit and I have no knowledge in there.
So a majority of small streamers actually do have several quote-unquote view bots in their stream unintentionally. So
really,
like on Twitch, I have like 3 or 4 view bots. It's because I have the restream bot, I have bot Ricks like monitoring the chat for like links and sus shit.
Oh, do they count as
those technically count as view
viewers?
bots.
Okay, then yeah, even I have like 2 or 3 view bots.
However, I'm not 100% sure how much it actually affects anything, because I have had streams some days where I have like 1 viewer, because most of my Twitch viewers went to YouTube when I started YouTube, even though I know I have 3 or 4 different bots on my Twitch.
A lot of people look and stream and lurkers being tagged as view bots on Twitch. Oh, that's fucked.
That's possible as well, yeah.
Oh, you know what? Somebody in chat actually asked that question earlier to us, and I forgot to bring it up because you were gone.
Oh.
Hey, Mizu. Oh, here. Artamos asks, hey, Mizu and Eva, what's actually a lurker for a stream mean? Like someone who has a stream open but doesn't talk, or someone who has the stream on a separate non-active tab? People are mad on Twitch. So that was where my brain kind of got turned on to that, and then I just saw the Twitch, the PSA on Twitter. So
fair. I actually don't know how they specify what a lurker is. Most people have kind of agreed that the best, probably the closest we can get to an example is somebody who shows up to chat but doesn't necessarily like talk or comment in the chat. On YouTube, it's somebody who doesn't like it.
Yeah, like or comment at least. Subscribing also works and marks you as a engaged viewer, quote unquote. Speaking of, don't forget to like the stream, comment on it and stuff, because again, YouTube has changed their algo and it's hurting some people.
I tend to lurk while I'm at work. I'm a semi-lurker. As far as I can understand, if you show up to a stream and you comment at least 1 time in that stream, I think you are immediately no longer a lurker for the rest of the stream. Though there is a...
I mean, that's how it should be.
Yeah, though there is a possibility that that resets every 4 hours, because Twitch reruns your algorithm like every 4 hours. Which is why on Twitch...
The notification bell does do stuff. It basically green lights the algorithm on YouTube to shove through and promote any new content coming from that creator. So if you want to not miss anything, it is imperative for you to hit the notification bell.
Yes. Say pop in, say hoy, then lurk. Basically, yes. And I will say most creators have no problem with you lurking. It's just like Twitch and YouTube that doesn't like lurkers. So the only time
Twitch, we run ads every 4 minutes? That's disgusting.
Yeah. So yeah, like whenever you hear like a creator like, hey, remember to like, comment, subscribe, don't think that's like a ding on you or some kind of hate towards you. That's just because YouTube kind of treats us like shit about that. Um, if we could, we'd be like, yeah, no, I could have 100 people in chat, not a single person talking, and I'd be happy. Because that's 100 people
same,
enjoying what
honestly.
I'm doing.
I mean, I'm usually I get unnerved if there's that many people and no one's talking. But as long as like 1 or 2 people are engaging with the chat, the CCV can be whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, I always remind people to like, comment, and subscribe, usually at the very end of the stream.
After it's over.
After it's over, when I'm in bed, and the computer's off. She just wake up from like a night terror. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. Oh Jesus. Oh wait, where am I? Oh, I'm in bed. Okay.
No one talking equals chat broke. That's also a possibility, yeah. I had one day because I've learned to not rely on this anymore. But on OBS, if you use Restream, they have like a Restream chat that connects all your chats into one big like consistent chat. So I was relying on that. And one day I did almost like an hour worth of a stream, and I was feeling really bad because nobody was talking in chat. And then I went to YouTube because I was going to hit end stream manually and just close it early. And there was just all these people talking. And it was just the Restream chat broke down that day.
But yeah, but what happens is like, yeah, if you get no engagement at all, it's like, okay, maybe I'm just like a piece of shit and I should end stream. It's like this whole thing.
Yeah, it's hard not to feel bad when you've been doing good streams and suddenly nobody's there, nobody's talking. Wakes up from nightmare. No, don't make me lose subs like Pirate Software.
I'm like, honestly, where's he at right now? I haven't checked him in a minute.
He took a big hit. He's still kind of doubling down on it.
Of course he is.
I don't know why he can't just be like, okay, yeah, I fucked up and walk away. Although at this point, I think it's too late.
Jesus, minus 200k in the last 30 days.
Big dip.
That's such a huge. Last 14 days alone has been 70k.
You have to think. He's
averaging losing 30,000 a week.
People have to think. When your unsubscribers on that level hurt far more, even if it's a huge channel. Because the reality is the people that are there to unsubscribe are the people that are
active viewership.
Yeah, it's your active viewership. It's the people paying the most attention.
Yeah. Because big channel is usually, yeah, they have millions of subscribers, but honestly, there's probably only a couple 100,000 people actually like actively engaged with them.
Yeah, this is why you go to like
lose that much is big. Like that's most of their engaged viewership.
Which is why you go to like a Twitch streamer that's got like 5 million subscribers and it's like only 10,000 people in chat. That's your active chat base. Yeah. Those are the people that are going to show up to most, if not all, streams.
So losing from that is bad.
Listen to 90% of my creators while at work. I haven't a choice but to mainly lurk. Oh no, trust me, no, like nobody minds that you have to lurk. Like we're all busy. I, outside of streaming, also have a full-time job, and I spend basically all day at work listening to podcasts and stuff. Although now I have started to do it to listen to stuff to improve the stream and whatnot, so I'm kind of working while at work.
You've also been listening to like like court cases and stuff.
God, I've listened to so many court cases while at work. Jesus.
It's fun. It's a fun like background noise thing to put on.
Oh yeah, especially the ones I've been listening to lately.
still find it wild. Quintale came into my chat when we talked. Oh, I know. I was so tired. I wanted to join, but I wasn't able to. But what's the findings on that, by the way? Because you were in the chat, right, Mizu?
Yeah. You mean the Akos thing?
Yeah. And what is Pirate Software falsely claiming that Quintale quote-unquote doxed him?
Yes. So basically, Pirate
Okay.
Software doxed himself, and then somebody
Oh my god!
somebody reposted a censored version of what Pirate Software had posted. And at the time they had posted that, at the time he was doing his video replying to Pirate Software, the tweet that they used to dox Pirate Software was still up on Pirate Software's Twitter.
Gotcha.
Because the absolute
but the
genius...
republication was actually censored still.
The republication was censored. And it was
Okay,
basically
so yeah,
somebody
that's-
saying...
You're in the clear.
This was basically somebody saying, this idiot posted this and is going to get himself doxxed. Would you like to know what information Pirate Software posted that he thought would not get him doxxed?
Yes.
It was a full picture of his mailbox, numbers and all.
No way.
Yeah.
There's no way he did that.
And
kudos to whoever reposted it and censored it, because boom, you're good. It's even, because again, doxing can be considered doxing even if the information is public, as long as it's republished to a new audience with intent to cause harm. But you censored the identifying information, so you're in the clear.
Yeah, he apparently Comcast, or he blames Comcast. It's unclear if it was true or not. He blames Comcast for running over his mailbox. And to prove that Comcast did it intentionally, he took pictures of his mailbox from multiple angles. And then just posted them to Twitter without censoring out the numbers on it.
I thought I saw that there was like a picture that Thor had taken of his local GameStop, and that also kind of doxed him.
Yeah. So this came up during the stream, and it's also come up with other people. Thor had a problem with telling how close he was to certain locations, showing his mailbox, taking lots of in real life pictures, and posting them to Twitter. Stuff that you could clearly use to track somebody. Because then all you have to do is find an address that was the address on his mailbox, and then find a GameStop that's 10 minutes away.
Yeah, you leave more than one breadcrumb of information, then there's a term called triangulation that comes to mind.
Yeah, and that's what the guy that had posted it on Quinteo's Discord was saying, is he wasn't saying we should dox Pirate Software. He was saying he posted all this information carelessly, and it can easily be used to dox him. He's an idiot for doing that.
It's kind of crazy considering what he has projected himself to be.
Yeah.
You would think his OPSEC was a lot more on point than that.
Yeah, I mentioned it before, but it's kind of too late now. But back in the day when I did other content that I knew could probably do reputational damage to me in real life, I would take pictures of random states I had visited, and I would post to them.
Oh my god, that's actually kind of amazing.
At one point, I had an entire account.
Now, from one picture to another, it's different states. That can't put you anywhere.
Yeah, I had one account where I had taken a trip to Anime Expo, and I had stayed outside of Los Angeles in Orange County for a couple of days, and I went around Orange County taking pictures to send to my family, because I was like, hey, look, it's California. We got the ocean and shit. And it looks so.
It's disgusting.
It is wild, by the way, being in Orange County, just how different it looks to where I live. Because when people say everywhere in America looks the same, it's no, it was being in a foreign land.
It really doesn't,
for
no.
me.
Yeah, no, Orange County is a lot different. In the different states that I've been to visit and stuff, I would say there's 3 or 4 major biomes, quote unquote, in America. But yeah, there's no one you couldn't go one point to another and yeah, it's exactly the same. It's not.
So when I went to go make this account, I was like, I'm kind of worried about people doxing me because they have pictures of me. I wonder how I could throw them off. So I just, every picture of where I lived, I uploaded a picture of I took when I was in Orange County. So if anybody actually came across that account and saw me, they would just naturally assume I lived in Orange County, California.
Yeah.
That's probably the smartest way I've ever thought to do it. And even then,
that's a pretty good one too, because it's not technically wrong, and as long as you don't challenge it, go, "Ha, you false doxed me," like they think it's true, so boom.
Exactly. What biome do you live in right now?
Poisoned.
Oh, so Florida.
Florida.
The poison biome swamp. The poison swamp biome of America is Florida.
For real. Yeah, the poison. I mean, it is swamp biome, sure, but poison, goddamn.
The poison is the humidity.
Look, I think the borders of like Florida should be extended to like Louisiana, Georgia, Arkansas, and South Carolina.
Yeah.
I think like that should all just be Florida. The armpit of America, so to speak.
And just like the armpit, and a natural number of people like it.
Yeah, oh my god.
I live in the end, everything is deadly, aka Australia. So I've been watching a YouTuber lately who does shorts on different animals around the world. But he's from Australia, so most of the animals he does are from Australia. And he has shown me some, like, horrific creatures that I'm like, I don't understand how Australians aren't, like, falling dead left and right every day from, like, random little shit. Like, you've got fucking fish over there that look like rocks, and if you step on it, you're basically dead in 16 minutes. Like, what the fuck is that about? We all know the creator, Mizu. They're in everyone's algorithm. Fair. It's just every time
I also just sent you 2 hilarious bar exam questions.
Oh, yeah. You want to just tackle them in order of sent?
And then I imagine just those 2 alone, you'll have enough that you'll have some in your recommendations that you can choose as well. They're not very long, but trust me, the breakdown is just always fucking hilarious. And then only one of them, I think, is actually a lawyer. He goes over the actual answer, but everyone else, like, gets a chance to, like, what do you think the damages claimed, the defenses of such would be, etc.
So I guess how we'll do it is because he actually has these separated into parts, which thank you, by the way, that's much appreciated. We'll do like the story, the question, and then you and me will talk about our answer before we listen to theirs.
Yeah, that'll work.
Alright, chat, so these are bar exam questions. It's basically like if you were taking a test in school and they gave you an essay question, this is kind of that for lawyers.
Yeah, I mean, more or less, yeah. And this is what's required for, for you to become a lawyer, for you to practice law.
Yeah, this is when they want to give you one of those open-ended questions and see how you answer it.
Homeowner lives in a quiet residential neighborhood in Anytown, Ohio. His next-door neighbors are Esther to the east, William to the west, and Nathan to the north.
I see what's happening here. I like that.
Nathan's backyard abuts homeowner's backyard. Homeowner decided to build a pond in his backyard and stock it with
Give me 1 second, I'll be right back.
Goldfish.
Okay. We're gonna wait for Ava because I want Ava to hear the question. Make you want to die from pain. So many self-delete. If koalas can live there and be genetically stupid, then humans have a chance. Blue ring octopus for one. The blue ring octopus is terrifying too because it's so adorable. Is Susan in the South? Susan lives across the street. She's unimportant. Unironically, it kind of would be in this case. Because they'd be talking about your two neighbors and then the person who, like, it backs up to your property. I missed the first hour, so I rewatch it after it finishes. So the first hour was about Saurai and her trying to file DMCAs. Now we're getting into the bar exam question, which we put in the title. I'm also still nibbling on my burger. Is that giant goldfish real? I knew koi were related to goldfish, but what the fuck? So a goldfish in the wild is typically a very big boy. The goldfish we get in stores are typically like it's kind of the difference between a wolf and a dog, I guess is the best way to explain it. Let me see if I can find a good like picture. So chat, this is, let me make sure there's nothing sus on this page. This is a real goldfish that was caught. 67 pounds. And these are all...
I'm back and there's this giant... What the fuck is going on?
So somebody was looking at the picture on the bar question here, and it says a large goldfish, and they're like, is that picture
gotcha.
real? Do goldfish
Okay.
like actually get that size? It's like, yes. In
Yeah,
the
they do.
wild, goldfish get big as fuck. It's the goldfish they sell in store
goldfish,
or like itty
don't
bitty
stop
boys.
growing pretty much.
Yeah.
They will keep growing and growing until they die.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a magic carp. So when you see like a magic carp and it's like the size of Ash's like arm span in the anime, no, that's an actual goldfish.
Yeah, pretty much.
I get why people think it, because the only time the average person sees a goldfish is like in the little containers at PetSmart or whatever. But no, like a wild goldfish is a big boy.
Okay.
He decided that the most efficient way to proceed would be to blast out a hole using dynamite.
Okay.
'Cause obviously, how else would you make a pond in your backyard?
Okay.
I think that's exactly what he should do.
I like.
Homeowner purchased a case of dynamite and, without telling Esther, he carefully concealed the dynamite in the shrubs along the property line on Esther's property.
Oh, no.
So why you
Why would you hide it in your neighbor's shrubs?
Oh, hold on. He stored the dynamite there to prevent neighborhood children from finding it.
Would they have found it if he kept it in his house?
Also,
Well,
where did he go to get dynamite? Lowe's?
This is anytime, by the way.
Yeah, where do
Well,
you just
Esther was
obtain
tri-
dynamite?
Actually,
That's actually a really good question.
if he was still alive, I would ask him, but my great-grandfather used to deal with really nasty tree stumps with dynamite.
Really? Okay, so there is obviously some
There's some way
method
people
of
are getting
obtaining
dynamite. I just don't know where.
I mean, yeah, people use it in mines. It was patented for mining and stuff. Like now, the guy was horrified to see that it was mostly used in warfare, but he did create it specifically for clearing shit and stuff.
Yeah, I do know in the area I live, it was not uncommon for people to use dynamite to deal with stumps. I
Gotcha.
never
That's
questioned
pretty
where they were getting it
impressive.
from. I guess it never crossed my mind. Because as a kid, it was
Yeah,
just kind
it
of
was
like,
normal for
Grandpa
you.
has
Yeah,
dynamite.
exactly.
That's just a thing.
Yeah, that's like, who has dynamite, Grandpa?
It never really
That's-
occurred to
that's
me
where
to
it
ask
stops
like
at.
where it came from. They used to sell it in Walmart?
It turns out you're in the IRA. You don't even know it.
Speaking of used to sell it in Walmart, did you see the British VTuber that came to America and she took a picture of the cost, like the display case of ammunition in like a Costco or something? And she's like, what the
Oh
fuck?
no, I didn't see that.
She's like, what the fuck? I feel
Oh,
so
like she culture
unsafe. You
shop?
you just
Like,
sell
what the
ammo
fuck's
in
going on?
your
Yeah,
grocery store?
yeah, absolutely, dude. They sell guns. 'Cause Walmart used to actually just sell guns, like not great ones, but yeah, they'd have some basic freaking rifles and shit.
So I do have to like clarify this for some people, right? Because part of it is like the British thing of not having guns everywhere, but another part of it is in Britain they don't really have supermarkets in the same way we do. So for them, a
No, they
grocery
don't.
store, when they think of
They have like
grocery store,
Tesco's and stuff.
yeah, when they think of grocery store, they think of kind of exclusively like the Walmart, just like the Walmart grocery section. They don't think of a supermarket that has everything. They think of this is the store for grocery, this is the
Think of
store
your
for
local
clothes.
grocer, like usually like an Albertsons or something like that, right?
Yeah,
Safeway, etc. That's pretty much what they see as a grocer. They don't see a department stores like Walmart or even like Costco, Sam's Club. That's not a grocery store to them.
yeah. And in America, it's just kind of common that you have a big supermarket like that in your town, just everywhere. Even small towns typically have a Walmart in some central location.
Yeah, it's usually built around Walmart with a few Dollar Generals scattered about and then like a Dollar Tree in the corner. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, I dare you.
I'm
Oh,
not.
also you have to add a Goodwill.
Yeah, a Goodwill or a Salvation Army.
Yeah. Exactly. It's usually both. Which is always bizarre because the population for that area is like this cannot sustain two major like charity thrift stores. But it tries.
Yeah. It's just funny because I've seen British people walk into an American Walmart for the first time, and it's almost incomprehensible to them how it functions. Like you walk into a Walmart and you immediately see clothes, electronics, guns, and grocery, and it's like, what is going on? You can buy all of this in one place? Who decided that?
Yeah.
And it's
And
like, oh,
again,
you
a
should
lot
see the
of these
garden center
are
out back.
Ohio, and Ohio probably has some pretty loose laws. I do know when I was in Tennessee, like some of the most badass fireworks I've ever seen, ever, we were able to purchase like at a corner store. It was wild.
Oh yeah. But so story so far, Esther to the east has dynamite in her shrubs by our little person because he wants to dynamite out a koi fish pond. I'm kind of wondering if there's a bunch of like useless facts kind of sprinkled in here to kind of mess with you, like so and because it seems like as it's going on, the story is going to be he tries to dynamite out the pond to the neighbor that's against his back. But then it's like, okay, no, actually we're in Esther's yard and we put dynamite in her shrubs. But I'm not discounting that everything they mention might be critically important to deciding this.
Trimming the shrubs, she tripped over the case of dynamite and broke her leg.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I was gonna go much worse.
Tripped
No,
the
dynamite is
dynamite.
not landmine. She did not blow up. Homeowner took all possible precautions in his preparation for blasting out the hole for the pond. On the particular day when homeowner undertook the blasting, Nathan was watching him through a window at the back of Nathan's house. Nathan heard homeowner yell, "Fire in the hole," followed a few seconds later by a large explosion.
Okay.
The explosion propelled a fist-sized rock from homeowner's backyard
Holy shit.
across Nathan's backyard and through the window, striking Nathan and causing a severe laceration on his forehead.
Oh my fucking god!
A fist-sized
got
rock
punched
just
in the-
punches through his window.
In addition, the concussions and reverberations from the blast area also caused a large crack to appear in the foundation of William's home.
Oh my god.
Esther, William, and Nathan all sued homeowner for damages, and each of them asserted claims based on strict liability in tort and trespass to land. Which claims are viable for each plaintiff? What must each prove to maintain each claim? And what is the likely outcome of each claim by each plaintiff?
So real quick, I want to just go back a little bit and double check. Specifically this one.
The concussions and reverberations from the blast area also caused a large crack to appear in the foundation of William's home.
Okay, so William's claim is he has a crack in his home foundation. Nathan's claim is he got hit in the face with a large-ass rock from the explosion. And I think what it said is the woman's claim isn't the tripping and the breaking of the leg, but it's trespass?
Homeowner for damages, and each of them asserted claims based on strict liability in tort and trespass to land. Which claims are viable for each?
Oh, so it's strict liability and trespass.
Yeah.
Are we trying to do both for each of them? I think.
Well, you can if.
Well, I was gonna say I think trespass
want,
only applies to the
watch
lady.
Through this to see how. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, but what you can do is you can watch through and just see how they do it, how it's structured, and then we can just pause at the appropriate time in the next question as you see the structure and how they're answering it. Because what's going to happen is
he going to ask for each
Wetzer
person
going
individually?
To answer first. They're probably going to they're probably going to answer, and one of them is probably going to be wrong. And then a PRI Pridge. He's the actual attorney, and he's going to give the actual answer.
Yeah, I figured he was the attorney since he's reading it, and the other two seem like they're more reacting to it right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's asking a couple of questions. It's asking who has viable claims, and what do they need to prove in order for it to be like a viable claim.
Right.
I think Esther to the east probably does have viable trespass. We also have to think that we are being told all the information, but in the form of the question, I think we have to kind of assume that they don't have the same information. Not everybody has the same information we do. Like, Esther doesn't specifically know he trespassed. She just knows she found his dynamite on her property, which caused her to trip and break her leg.
That's true. Now, I will say, typically in lawsuits, there's two things that you have to prove, especially when it comes to these kind of damages, is liabilities. Excuse me, it's not liabilities. Sorry, is negligence or intent to cause harm.
Yeah.
So one thing is going to be like you acted so just stupidly that the reasonable person would no, this is negligence to the average person. Or even worse, you actually intended to cause somebody harm. I think planting dynamite in somebody's shrubs not only meets the qualifiers for trespass, but also meets negligence, like by far and above.
That one does for sure. The two I'm stuck on would be William and Nathan, because I think those are put there to trip you up, because it makes it sound like it's very obvious. Nathan got hit in the face with a rock because of your explosion, ergo, you've definitely damaged him in like a very human, very real way. However, the context given is that all necessary precautions were taken, and I assume that to mean, because this is a legal question, that all legal state-required precautions were put in place before the controlled explosion.
You would be right to say that, to assume that. Put play, I'm going to be right back. I'm just checking on something, but I can hear because you're on speaker.
Okay.
Plaintiff, what must each prove to maintain each claim, and what is the likely outcome of each claim by each plaintiff?
Well, he definitely trespassed in Esther's place because he put the dynamite there, and she tripped and fell over it, which I believe, relating to the Kobe the Cobra question, he's liable for. The explosion going through the rock going through Nathan's house, and then also Nathan's head. I feel like he's also liable for that.
I feel like that's more like reckless endangerment.
It's a weird thing where it's his property showing up on you.
That's what I thought. I think that's meant to trip up people, because the guy says, I think it's reckless endangerment. But context for it is that he has followed all proper precautions and safety procedures. So I don't think you could get someone on reckless endangerment when they have followed all state required procedures.
Your property? I don't know how that works.
That is still considered trespass.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Throwing
was his rock.
throwing objects and even things like sound waves can all be considered really bad smells can all be considered trespass in a way.
Throwing sound waves.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is that the basis for noise complaints then?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it's a couple. Yeah, there's a couple things.
And then
noise.
the last person just had like property damage, right? To,
Yes.
like, their foundation. I don't know if that counts as trespass.
What I think, surprisingly, is I think he's probably liable for the old man's window more than he is for his face. And he might be liable for the cracks in the foundation on the guy's house. I think he's definitely liable for the trespassing and the breaking of the leg with her prop. The breaking of the leg might go back and forth a little bit, like if it was in an actual court.
Yeah, it might be litigated a bit, but I think there's a strong argument for it.
I think it's more in favor of her, for sure. I definitely think a competent lawyer could definitely trounce like an average lawyer on that, though.
Probably, yeah.
Literally, just as throwing sound waves can count as trespass.
These are a lot of oddly specific scenarios. They're just like, okay, really?
Yeah, so the clarification the lawyer provided to them was that throwing stuff on someone's property, including sound waves and smells, can count as trespass. I would...
He literally just said that throwing waves can count as trespass. I feel like the lawyer gave a pretty big clue. Yeah, trespass is a slam dunk. Pretty much here.
It's the liability.
Everyone's... Yeah, Goliath, yeah.
Well, because I kind of think a lot of people forget that in many cases, not every case, but in many cases, the consequence for trespass is being told don't do it again.
Yeah, well, I mean, the consequence for like an initial trespass is like, yeah, don't come back here, or there will be even more trouble. And then the more you trespass, the harder they hit you with the book, so to speak. But yeah, initially, yeah, trespass is like, yeah, don't do that again.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people that seem to believe, specifically like stores and stuff that have like overbearing managers that seem to believe, I said you're trespassed, ergo you have to wait here and be arrested. And it's like, no, you can't just, on the initial trespass, say, like, I've trespassed you, we're arresting you now. There has to be a reasonable amount of time for them to leave. The initial trespass causes damages. I feel like it's two separate questions. I feel like it would be split into multiple different things. Although the fact that you were trespassing to cause the damage would be taken into account at sentencing, for sure. Than if you had a right to be there.
Passing.
What did I just say, though? The concussions and reverberations from the blast.
You know what? Pridge, you got me on that one. Yeah, that counts as trespassing.
Yeah, that's what this question's trying to ask. That's what the part of that question's trying to ask.
Okay,
Zach just failed the bar.
Yeah, I did.
You did.
I was so confident.
Is that an actual image? Adapty bar? You failed the bar exam. What's next?
Let this
Study better and take it again.
Oh my god! You know what? There are help. There's an entire industry on like, okay, so you failed the bar exam. What's next? This is an actual thing.
I mean, I'd figure.
I mean, most people fail it at least once.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't doubt it, especially if it's like mostly exam type questions. You're bound to
And
fuck
it's
up.
questions that are just so like, as this is just the state of Ohio, right? But
Yeah.
you can imagine that, like, yeah, questions get insanely convoluted, complex, and then sometimes the whole story, what they asked the question of, like, is like a claim or a cause of action that's so small in that whole big story that, like, you're like, what the fuck was that even about?
Yeah. I am definitely curious for how he says this goes specifically. Just because I'm not sure how much the he took all necessary precautions and followed procedures accounts into all of it.
Yeah, I would be, well, I'm saying I'm kind of hung up on that phrasing as well, because that tells me that there's some protections there if
Yeah.
he took all necessary precautions.
Because I know one of the guys while you were gone said the rock going through the window is at the very least reckless endangerment. Like, I don't think it can be reckless, actually, if he's followed all the state required procedures. Assuming that's kind of
Exactly.
how the question is meant to be taken.
Too confident.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so to go through this fully, the first thing you have to know is there's usually when it comes down to liability, it has to be because you either acted negligently or intended to harm someone. You know, the kind of things that make you liable. But there is a theory of liability called strict liability, which basically means it does not require negligence or intent to harm. Just by sheer action of causing the harm, you can become liable. One theory of strict liability is called ultra-hazardous activity,
Oh.
which is an activity or process that presents an unavoidable risk of serious harm to other persons or their property, for which the actor may be held strictly liable for the harm, even if the actor has exercised reasonable care to prevent that harm.
Okay.
And guess what falls under ultra hazardous activity?
Explosion.
Shit up.
Using dynamite. Using dynamite absolutely falls under ultra hazardous activity.
I would imagine
mean,
so.
Okay, I probably would have failed that one then. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have gotten that one wrong too.
Foundation could have been damaged before the blast and gives an excuse for it to be hard to prove the blast caused it. That would be something he'd have to prove, but I don't know like how the proofs necessarily would go into that. Like, it wasn't damaged yesterday, it was damaged today, sort of deal.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope this isn't based on a real case, but so I question how this guy continued to live there in peace.
No, these bar exams are always, look, it takes place in any town, Ohio, okay? These bar exam questions are completely hypothetical.
However, there's definitely a case somewhere out there where a guy blew some shit up with dynamite and hurt one of his neighbors.
Oh yeah, 100%, yes.
It's just this specific scenario is intended to
Yeah, this is
have multiple
it's
different facets.
Exactly.
Although,
These are intentionally crafted to challenge a potential lawyer's brain into coming of, okay, well, what are the appropriate claims that can be made? What are the defenses for the claims that can be made? Who has what claims over who, etc. And yeah, you have to sort all of that out.
yes. Probably what you'd have to do if you're this guy's lawyer is you just really have to fight against the strict liability thing. Like, you know, we followed all, like, processes, procedures, we did everything as safely as possible, and I don't believe using dynamite is ultra-hazardous activity. How else is he gonna get this cleared in a reasonable manner?
Right.
That's probably the best you can do as his lawyer.
Come on, what is dynamite but a big firework? Come on.
Which is why the statement that homeowner took all possible precautions doesn't actually mean anything, because this is an ultra hazard. Because the theory that William and Nathan would sue
Okay,
under
I
is
see what's going on.
Yeah.
I see, okay.
I also probably read too much into that statement, because my statement, all possible
I did too.
precautions...
I 100% did too.
I was immediately thinking,
I'm like,
okay, so there's probably like state
because
requirements.
From the framer of the question, they didn't say like, oh, the men claim to have taken all necessary precautions. EU said as the narrative, as the exposition. That all necessary precautions were taken, which means to me, like, well, you narrated that. That wasn't a claim. You stated that as a fact, is what this guy did. So
Yeah.
maybe, yeah, too much reading into it, but there's a reason why these bar exam questions are no longer on the bar exam. That's why they are being read through now, is because they've been retired or cycled out in some manner or another for whatever reason. And I think the wording in that would be a reason for why this one was cycled out.
Yeah, because my first thought
Because I'm
process
just
when
looking
I
at
heard
it from like a writing perspective.
Yeah. Because my
You
first
know-
thought process when I hear it is like, oh, that's state requirements. So he has followed all state required precautions.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that question definitely could have been phrased better.
But I do get it. I have actually not heard of the ultra hazardous requirement before, so that is something that is nice to have in my little repertoire. I'd probably have to look at like what all is. Actually, I'll do that real quick because why not? Ultra hazardous activity from the Cornell Law School. Let's see. High level of danger, which typically carries strict liability. Ultra hazardous activity by its nature. Da, 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 da. So there's no. So this would also throw me off. Apparently, there is no strict definition for what constitutes ultra hazardous activity, and it is left up to the courts to analyze whether an activity is considered ultra hazardous or not. They will consider factors such as the likelihood of damage, the severity of potential damage, the commonality of the activity itself, the ability for the danger to be contained, the context of the activity, and the public necessity for the activity. Historically, activities that have high chances of damages include things like blasting, and smaller chances of damages like storing explosives near pedestrians constitute ultra hazardous activity.
That seems fair.
Context plays a key role in how a court will rule the same activity may only be ultra hazardous if done in certain circumstances. And lastly, some ultra hazardous activities, ergo transporting gas, do not carry ultra hazardous activity because policymakers and courts find that the population depends on the activity to the point that the hazard is a necessity for society. Okay, so that's nice to kind of read through and know.
Ultra hazardous strict liability via ultra hazardous activity. And basically, they both win on that for the reasons we've sort of talked about. It doesn't matter that homeowner was careful. He was using dynamite. Sending a physical object like a rock is clearly trespass. And even the concussions and reverberations that cause damage, also trespass.
I really hope that like his definition of precaution was he was about to press down the little plunger, because this is obviously a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Oh yeah,
right before he does. Oh yeah, and right before he does, he's like,
This is also one of those things I kind of have to mention. Mizu got caught up in the world of legal carve-outs. He forgot to account for the harsh inclusive. Well, so here's the thing, right?
Oh my god.
When I talk about like legal stuff and kind of why sometimes these strict questions kind of throw me off is because I'm used to watching a whole bunch of court cases where stuff that literally fits the exact letter of the law in every way gets ruled on as not valid because of the way the judge feels about it. And I'm kind of used to there being
so
like
he's
way more wiggle room than
he's
people.
approaching this from more like a courtroom experience level than like a law student level.
Yeah.
So you can have this disconnect. In fact, I would say that I would have failed that bar question if I retook it today because I would read too much into that statement, and I was thinking too much like an experienced lawyer, not a law student.
Yeah.
So
I've actually had this criticism before of like kind of law students is they have this very like kind of rose tinted glasses view of courtroom procedure.
Are you telling me who I think I am?
Well, no, I've had it from multiple people before, but that one situation just reminded me of it. Was like sometimes law students have a very rose tinted view of how courtroom procedure works, where it's like I have the law on my side. I'm gonna go in there, and the judge is just gonna be like, as soon
Thank
as
you,
I make
Chad.
my argument, gavel down, you win. Congratulations, sir, you did a good job. And the reality is, a lot of that doesn't matter. The law can like literally be written specifically for you, and there's still a possibility you lose. It's just courts are complicated, and there's a lot of wiggle room. Then there's a lot of spirit of the law versus the written word of the law. Is the way of the world.
All right, so I am listening and everything, but my food just arrived, and I might be devouring this like a monster. So I might be a little quiet.
Like a fat kid in a candy store.
You're damn right I am. Oh, this looks so freaking good.
Calm down, Augustus Gloop. What do you think Wonka's liability is on that, anyways? Like, I mean, homie had no handrails
Now, that's a
around
good
that chocolate
question.
river.
That's true, but there was also a big ass contract they signed before stepping foot into the factory.
True, true. Oh, sorry, Chad, I'm sneezing again. Oh, Jesus. Sorry, chap. Mucho sneezes.
Safety first, and he puts on a little thing of goggles, and then he.
I'll just say the real plot twist is that homeowner is actually Michael Bay.
and he was filming,
Just
he was filming,
needlessly adding explosions to everything he can.
he was filming Transformers 8, Dark Side of the Last Night of a Transforming Moon.
And he cast the Anytown, Ohio crew as all the actors.
That's why he gets so many bad actors in his movies.
Yeah. Kobe's gonna be the new Shia LaBeouf.
I mean, I'd watch that Transformers movie.
Easily.
And then obviously Esther's thing is much more simple. You put a box on the property line. She tripped on it. Don't hide things Don't hide things when it crosses property lines.
Yeah, that's pretty cut and dry.
Much more simple
Yeah.
and obvious.
Yeah.
So basically, homeowner's liable to everyone for everything.
There you go.
But
Don't use just use a shovel, my dude. Or get one of those cat or like rent a cat excavator or something.
Right.
What if he throws like a really rad pool party and invites them all over and is like,
in his pond for aquatic plants and goldfish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's they're
Exactly.
really cool goldfish, though.
Yeah. And
They
he's
can do
like, are we
tricks.
all square?
Hey, really quick, before you scroll to the next video.
Unironically, though, that is a useful way to kind of get out of litigation, is just being very nice to your neighbors.
I mean, yeah.
It's not a legal way to get out of it, but people are a lot less sue happy if you're friends.
It is, but it isn't. Your lawyer has not done their job well enough if you end up in court. Typically speaking, your lawyer is going to help you mediate a lot of things out of court, because that is our goal, is out of court resolutions and settlements.
Something tells me after they took this, they all got each other's Discords and now they're playing Marvel Rivals together on the daily. We add salt to Mizu, he becomes larger as he becomes part of the sea. Anyways, Ava sent me a second one, so we'll move on to that one as well.
Several months ago, in an effort to kill husband.
Why is it? It's playing the audio twice.
Oh, that was really,
I don't know.
really.
Yeah, it for some reason it linked up the music, or it linked up my YouTube audio to my game audio section. It was just playing it through both of them. I'm sorry if it did that for a hot minute, chat. I didn't see it was doing that.
Oh no.
Wife put a lethal quantity of rat poison in a marinade for a steak dinner she had prepared for husband.
Now question. Are wife and husband rats?
That's definitely attempted murder.
Unconfirmed. Wife overcooked the steak and served it to him, but husband refused to eat it.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
Great assassin, not a great cook.
Oh my god.
No! Did this take place in the 50s? This had to have taken place in the 50s,
That's
please.
so fucking brutal.
A few weeks later, wife asked son, the couple's 20-year-old son, to show her how to cut the brake line on husband's car.
Well, now, okay,
Because
sure.
reasons.
Yeah.
I am your mother.
She said she was going to lure husband to Mountain Overlook, get him drunk, cut the brake line, and push the car over the cliff with husband in it.
Damn.
Whoa! Okay.
Again, just to circle back around.
Do you think we're talking about the wife or the son? Because we haven't established who's committing the crime and who's
I
getting
think
charged.
we're talking about the wife.
Yeah,
We're talking about the wife.
I feel like we're probably talking about the wife. But what's throwing me off is like asking the son. I was like, are we going to talk about the liability of the son helping her? Like,
There might be conspiracy or something in there, yeah.
yeah. Because if she's specifically telling him, I'm going to cut the brake line to kill him, and he's like, oh yeah, this is how you cut the brake line then. Like,
Yeah, that's textbook conspiracy.
you're on the hook for that, bro. Even if you're not the one cutting the brake line. Devastator for 10.
You have not only talked about it, but you've taken a tentative step towards completing an action. So yeah, that's textbook conspiracy.
Devastator for 10. I got hot pizza coming because someone said eat. Lol. Yes, chat, please remember to eat food. Stay healthy. Hydrate yourselves. Do not starve yourselves. If you are like me and you're a little bit poor from time to time, buy a bunch of rice. Pay like $5 and get like a month's worth of rice. My guess is they're talking about the dog.
Definitely the dog.
Why would she ask the son? Ma'am, you can just Google this. You can YouTube this shit nowadays, I'm sure.
Hey, this,
Also,
question, this question's from 2000.
Did you see that? I'm definitely on a watch list now.
Oh, hey.
What is he Googling? Yeah, how to cut brake lines.
Yeah, definitely on a watch list now.
Nowadays, I'm sure.
Hey, this,
Also,
question, this question's from 2000. I don't know if they had Google back then.
That's fair.
Did she check and see if her son was cool? Is he in on it?
Hey son, be cool, be cool. I'm maybe gonna try and kill your dad though.
Yo, but like, shh, be cool.
Touch on that point. Although son had no love for husband, he told wife it was a stupid idea and that he wanted no part of it.
Damn.
You do kind of have liability there. You have to report it. She's saying she's gonna kill somebody.
Well, then this is good. Continue. I want to see where this is going.
Yeah, by the way,
Damn.
we're not even halfway through the story, by the way. The story is 4 minutes and 54 seconds. We're 2 minutes in. So I'm curious where this is going exactly.
Good work, son.
I also like the idea though of like, it's not that like I don't want to murder him, like that idea sucks. I'm not helping you with that.
Oh,
He didn't take like a moral stand. He just said that idea is shit.
It's like, hey, mom, come back to me with a better murder plan, maybe
then
I'll
we'll
consider
talk.
it.
Still later, wife approached daughter. The couple's age.
To point out, chat, you don't have to be a mandatory reporter. Typically, courts do say, like, if you see, like, a crime, you kind of have to say something. If it's, like, a deadly crime.
There's an obligation to report it.
Yeah. Mandatory reporter is for, like, kids. If you suspect, like, there's child abuse happening.
Not just kids, but adult protective services as well.
Yeah.
But the mandatory reporter is, priest, fireman, church, the child care givers, church services and stuff. They're mandatory reporters. Just usually it's a person of social authority in the community that is a mandatory reporter.
Yeah. But that kind of goes out the window when we're talking about, like, a specific crime. Because a lot of times mandatory reporters aren't seeing crimes, they're hearing about stuff. If you were actively in the middle of somebody being like, I'm going to shoot and kill this person, you do have, like, a duty to report.
18-year-old daughter with the same idea about cutting the brake line.
God, come up with a new idea, please.
Daughter agreed to show wife how to cut a brake line and to demonstrate the process on June 1st.
Why does the daughter know how?
Wow.
She Googled it.
On
Mom's
June
too
1st,
stupid to
why
Google.
is a date? What is a date so specific?
We shall see. Could be important.
Daughter went so far as to purchase a set of wire cutters with which to accomplish the task.
Oh, you're accidentally an accomplice now.
Before June 1st, however, daughter
You definitely
reconsidered
accomplice.
and told wife she would not go through with it.
Okay, so they didn't say it specifically like they did
wait
with
a
the
minute.
son, but with that,
Yeah.
I think that means daughter was going to help her kill dad, and that she knew it was a plan to kill dad.
I mean, that's the intent.
Now, I guess seemingly out of family members, on July 1st, wife contacted
Wife went
stranger.
to dog.
On July 1st, wife contacted stranger and offered him $5,000 if he would shoot and kill husband and make it look like a robbery.
Damn.
Hey.
What
I
happened
don't know
to the
what
brake wire thing?
I don't know what the going rates for hitmen are. I don't know if 5,000 seems like a small amount to murder someone, but I don't really want to Google what it costs to hire a hitman.
Yeah,
so
5,000 is really low.
Yeah, I don't need the NSA on me about that.
I can tell you for a
Twice that.
fact from watching way too much true crime, you can get some people to do it for $1,000.
That is true.
You'd be surprised
if you
how
hire a
low people will go.
The going rate is around 10 grand.
For some
ask me
people,
how I
the
know
going
that.
rate is a night of coochie.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
Like you say 5,000's low, but some people give it out for a one night stand. I'm just saying.
sometimes
good
booty
point.
more important than
Stranger
money.
agreed to do it. Wife paid stranger $2,500 and promised to pay the remaining $2,500 after husband's death. When stranger went to carry out the plan,
Reasonable.
he found husband with another woman, mistress.
Oh shit.
Stranger shot and killed husband, and to eliminate her as a witness,
Fuck.
he also shot and killed mistress.
I think before we get to it, because I know we're going to get the actual question, I think question might be trying to trip you up to ask about wife's liability in the death of mistress, since he was not paid to kill mistress.
And what do you think about that?
She was my favorite character that was just introduced.
Wife refused to pay the $2,500 balance, asserting that, by killing mistress, stranger had exceeded what wife had intended.
So, I thought killer was gonna be stranger was gonna be like, okay, now it's $10,000 because I killed two people.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for the second person to be killed though.
Well, and then I went to go pick up some groceries, and then I killed like 3 other people in like a hit and run. So I'm gonna have to charge you for those guys too.
Wait, is this
And
Joe
the cost of
Dark?
the cost of the groceries, to be honest.
Yeah.
I consider it a work expense.
Yeah.
This is kind of setting the
I'm gonna
setting the stage up for like any crime committed in action of like the planned crime, the conspiracy, can be charged as well.
Yeah. Heck, you can get some stuff that's like you didn't even commit it yourself. Like it's well known, like if you
no,
commit
but you were yeah.
if you commit like a robbery on a store and somebody ends up dying, even if you didn't have a deadly weapon with you in the commission of that robbery, you're on the hook for murder.
Oh, you're talking about a HO defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, say you rob a store and the clerk has a heart condition, and even though you don't threaten him or anything, he has a heart attack and he dies. You can be charged with his murder due to the eggshell argument.
Yeah. Because you were committing a crime that had reasonable expectations of danger to it, and somebody has died in the commission of that crime. Even if you didn't
Even
necessarily
if it
do
was a pre-existing condition that was just aggravated, you were the aggravating factor, so you are responsible for the death.
it. The final question going to be, how much can the hitman get in suing the woman for lack of payment? 0, because it's payment for an illegal activity.
That would actually be funny if that was the final question. Like, they threw all this illegal shit and then just went, so what do you think they can get for lack of payment? Wait a minute. Hey, there's a lot more to this.
write these off of my taxes.
Discuss what criminal charges prosecutors may bring against wife, son, and daughter.
So wife definitely has I guess we're assuming that they know about everything that has happened that we have been told about, or else they wouldn't have said it. Like the wife trying to poison him with the steak dinner.
Yeah,
that's attempted. At least 2
Definitely
counts of
attempted
conspiracy. Well, 3 counts, I think, with son, daughter, and the guy. Definitely murder for the payment of it, or at least accomplished to.
When the second death being an accessory charge for the wife as her pay the guy to take out the husband lead to the mistress death.
Yeah, wife is on multiple charges for each instance.
Oh yeah, a lot of them.
I think son just
really
gets
down.
failure to report a crime.
Which he might not even get that.
Yeah, they might let him off on that, and they might let. Because I've actually seen this happen in court where they're just like, well, he didn't believe like she would do it. She thought she was just like a little nutty and a little upset, which has been used as an affirmative defense before. Daughter definitely in trouble as accomplice, even though she didn't go through with it. Or at least she's getting conspiracy as well. Because she was going to go through with it, and she did help wife with a bunch of stuff leading up to it, and then just kind of backed out at the last minute. Are we not asking about the murder? Or are we just assuming the murderer is naturally, like, getting in trouble?
No, I mean, we haven't gone to the question yet, have we? Well, not through the whole thing yet.
Fair.
Your answer should consider each criminal offense independently and should include a discussion of any possible defenses that may be raised.
Is there? I forget if we've talked about.
Oh, so it is just these 3. So I guess the only defenses you can raise with mother for the first 3 charges is didn't go through with it. That it doesn't really matter, but I guess that's the defense you have to go for when you're dealing with somebody who got their husband murdered. For the son, I kind of gave it a minute ago, and it's one I've seen in court before, is he didn't actually think she was serious. Because that's happened before. People have been like, well, she just seemed upset. I didn't think she would actually go through with it.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the daughter, I think you're really stuck with just didn't go through with it. I can't it's hard to come up with a defense because she already showed her how to do it, or at least I guess we're assuming she showed her how to do it. And even
No, she backed out of that.
well, no, because it said that she showed her how to do it, and she bought the wire cutters. But on the day to do it, she backed
would
out.
show her how to do it. No, she said she would show her how to do it on June 1st.
Okay.
And she even bought the wires, but she backed out of it.
Okay.
And so that's why wife changed tactics and contacted stranger to shoot and kill husband.
So I think daughter's still on the hook for that, for sure. Especially with the buying of the wire cutters.
Yeah, there could. I mean, I think if you are especially aggressive as a prosecutor, you could get some shit on the daughter. Not so much the son, but definitely the daughter because she bought the pliers, which is a huge step in intent.
Yeah. I think son is being let go because he could. It's such an easy affirmative defense to just be like, oh, well, people say lots of stuff when they're mad.
Let's see.
Murderer got away scot-free. He's now in Mexico.
Yeah, the hitman got off, took a plea deal, and now does work for the CIA.
I think the ultimate big question this one is trying to get at is how liable is mother for mistress's death? Because defense for that is definitely going to be, I paid him to kill the husband, not the mistress.
It doesn't really matter.
And when I found out he killed the mistress, I even refused to pay because that's not what I wanted. But like we said earlier,
doesn't matter.
Crime is committed in the commission of another crime.
Yeah, you're liable for anything. Exactly. Yeah, that's gonna be it. The mother's gonna be liable for both of those deaths.
Yes. But if I'm her lawyer, that's, like I said, with a case like this,
definitely appropriate defense, sure.
It's the best. Sometimes you have to just put forth defenses that you know aren't going to work.
Oh, battered woman syndrome. Trying to kill him on 3 separate occasions and then hiring a hitman is not battered woman syndrome.
That's something you're going to argue, though, for sure. He was an alcoholic. He beat her. He was negligent.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. You got it.
Husband was with a mistress. That's gonna. That's a defense.
True. That's going to be state of mind. It's going to be well. Yes,
she doesn't know. I don't think. But that's going to be the argument is that she did.
She wasn't the one who discovered it.
That's going to be lawyer's argument, though.
Crime of passion can't be argued because, oh man, this is weird. Again, this is so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think these are arguments that come up because I've seen it. Like lawyers will make arguments they know aren't going to stick. So if her lawyer is definitely going, it was a crime of passion. She definitely knew about the mistress, or he wouldn't probably perjure like that. He'd be like, there was a mistress, that kind of like weaselly way to get around it. Like, well, Your Honor,
you got it.
There was a mistress. Like, yeah, well, she didn't know about the mistress. At least we're assuming she didn't.
No, and yeah, exactly. And these attempts on his life occurred before she even had the ability to discover it. He was on his way to kill him. So it's not like, oh, I was on my way to give him a good scare, and then I saw him with a mistress, and then like things are no. The intent in the hiring was to kill him, so it doesn't really matter if he was discovered with a mistress or not.
I'm a little worried about what else is here because this question section still has like another 3 minutes in it. I feel like that's already the question, though.
Let's see what goes on.
About this, is it a crime to not report a potential crime?
So I will get to that as I go through this because obviously that is important for the question about son.
Yeah, because son, I would say if it's bad to not report a potential crime, then yeah. But also there might be some shit where it's like it's a family member, so I don't know if there's laws that govern
you committed thought crimes.
Yeah. Daughter, I feel like with both son and daughter, it's like daughter was more complicit, but they both backed out, but then didn't report it, and then stranger, I mean, killed 2 people, so yeah, absolutely, he's going to jail.
no.
I do like that the question does not include
he
anything
definitely-
about stranger.
Yeah. But
He's,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, not yet.
it's like, as far as we know from what the lawyer said, question does not include anything about stranger. We're just taking for granted that he is on the hook for murder. Hitman for hire.
Oh, he definitely is.
I mean, the question doesn't even ask about stranger because it's obvious. Double homicide.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
The question doesn't even bother how you discuss that because it's double homicide, yo. And there's no defense that
Yeah,
someone paid me
that's
to
pretty
do
clear
it.
cut.
To be fair, I see it as well. I see how it confuses these two guys though, because it is making the statements of, well, she didn't pay him like the rest of it. It's like, no, that's something that's going to be tried to use in her defense, not successfully, but it's going to be tried to use in her defense. It doesn't really apply to the stranger.
You know what this question needed is like a little footnote at the very end. Like the steak was thrown away and then somebody like
Else
accidentally ate it out of the garbage.
Shit. That would be such a funny.
A neighbor came over, saw the steak in the fridge, and ate it.
Daughter, I think because even though she bought the thing, the fact that she went back on it, like had a change of heart, I think absolves her of any part of that. But I don't know. Pridge, what is the answer?
You tell us the answer.
All right. So first off, we'll start with wife and the poisoning of the steak.
Okay.
So what we have here is
That's attempted
obviously-
murder.
Yeah.
It's savvy. I'm willing to bet my shoes on it. That's attempted murder.
Yeah.
attempted murder.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Ohio Revised Code, section 2923.02. No person purposely or knowingly shall engage in conduct that, if successful, would constitute or result in the offense. So, obviously, if you eat rat poison, it will probably
Yeah, that's
kill
pretty
you.
literal law.
And she attempted to do
Yep.
that, but she's a bad cook, so it didn't work.
It's so funny. It's so funny that's why you didn't eat it.
Man,
So again-
a lot of
I think
This chicken is cold.
Yeah, I think the defense you would actually try and affirm in this is not necessarily that it didn't work. It's that he didn't even eat the item that was supposed to hurt him.
But the attempts didn't work as a thing.
It's yeah. The attempt didn't even become
yeah,
an
it's really,
attempt.
Yeah.
I think that's the best defense you can
Yeah,
get for
that would be the defense. It'd be a weak one and I'd tear it to shreds, but that would be the defense.
Yeah.
Ratatouille 2 is looking crazy right now.
But it could
A failure to succeed doesn't obviously mean anything for attempt.
Mhm.
It's also funny to note that in subsection B,
Mhm.
it is not a defense if the object of the attempt was either factually impossible. So if you try and
So I've actually seen this before in an actual court case. If you try and kill somebody with something that physically cannot kill them, it is still considered attempted murder. Like, if you personally
yes,
believe...
because again, it has to do with intent.
Yes. If you personally believe that you can use Wiccan magic to kill somebody, and they catch, like, a fucking Dark Brotherhood circle in your room, where you're
Anyway, shoot.
doing some Night Mother shit to try and get somebody killed,
Yeah.
that is still technically attempted murder.
You could make that argument, yes.
Because you're trying, not successfully, but you are trying to get somebody killed. Which is kind of the point of the attempt.
if you try and kill someone, but it's actually impossible that the thing would have killed them, you're still alive.
Oh, so, because I did mention it, the specific case I saw where this happened was a lady, it was like an old lady or something, was trying to focus mirrors on her roof into somebody's bedroom while they slept during the day because she believed that if she focused enough sunlight into their room, they would catch on fire and die. And her focus
So
was
you're telling
like
me they
just
were dealing with a vampire.
yeah, which technically you probably could work. You probably could heat stroke somebody out that way, or with enough focus, you probably could
Actually,
catch
it's
some
funny.
shit on
There
fire.
is a way. One of my favorite old school animes. I think it's still running. It's called Detective Conan. And one of the cases that I remember them doing, and this is an actual case I've heard about as well, but an individual is able to remotely access the HVAC system of this room in this hotel room, and the individual had a pre-existing heart condition. So what they did is they were able to rapidly change the temperature from hot to cold, and it triggered that pre-existing heart condition, gave them a heart attack. They killed them.
That would be wild.
That was like the whole. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was the whole the whole rundown. But legally speaking, if you could prove that they were changing the temperature for that intention, and even with the eggshell argument too, yeah, you could probably get them for that. Like that's a legally sound argument.
Yeah. I just remembered this case and I thought it was funny. This old lady thought she was gonna mirror somebody to death from her roof into their bedroom.
In Syracuse, there was a dude that did the whole mirror stuff to make shits catch on fire. Archimedes. What?
Who knows?
For it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny rule though, because it's like, I attempted to kill him by planning to blow up his car, but it actually wasn't his car, so it never would have killed him.
So you can be charged with attempted murder if you attempt to kill somebody with like a feather.
It's like it's. I think it has to be more than that, but it's something where that like even if you try and do something that's impossible to kill someone, then yes, like it wouldn't be that dramatic.
Okay, okay.
But like yes, it is weird like that.
I tried to tickle him to death.
The law approaches attempted murder broadly, but obviously it would be up to the prosecutor, the DA rather, to bring charges on somebody on somebody genuinely thought they could murder somebody with a feather, and you could prove that was a genuine belief of that individual. Sure, the DA could press those charges. But is that likely? Probably not.
Well, you'd also
but
have to
still,
get
the
past
law allows for broad usage.
well, also like if you come to something that extreme, you're also dealing with competency at that point. Because you're like, is this person
That's also true.
actually mentally
Competent
sound
enough
enough?
to stand trial, yeah.
Like,
That's very true.
because if they think they can kill people by tickling them with feathers, like how in their right mind are they actually?
And then you find out they've dusted the feather with anthrax. We were the jokes all along.
So moving on to son. For son and daughter, the question's gonna be complicity and conspiracy. Complicity
There it is,
either
conspiracy,
being
yeah.
helping someone, or conspiracy being a planning to get.
Look, I will say right now, I don't think you can get the son on conspiracy very well, or even complicity. But I think you could get there with a daughter quite a bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe not with complicity because she backed out, but definitely conspiracy because she not only listened to and agreed to the plan, but she made a tentative step towards that goal, i.e., buying the clippers that were going to be used to clip the brakes. That is textbook conspiracy.
Yeah.
Together to do something. Son is gonna be okay because he never actually took any action to help mom, to help wife. And I think this was to Wes's point. You are generally under no legal obligation to report a crime that could happen.
Okay.
Actually, you're generally not under any legal duty to report a crime that has happened.
Yeah.
This technically, the only times this doesn't apply is when special circumstances are present. That would be like parents to children, or if you're legally responsible for someone. So like teachers to students, parents to children.
I don't know, because again, depending on the state, like California has like laws where like if you see somebody drowning and don't report it or don't take some action, like you're not expected to jump in there and save their life, but
This is a
like,
state-to-state thing, yeah.
negligence or like exactly. This I'm going to qualify Pritch's response here with it depends on the state, but generally speaking, yes, you're not necessarily legally required to report a crime that is about to happen or has happened.
Yes. I would also say, because he says, I believe he said in another video that these are from like the 2000s when they're covering these.
Yes, and the law has or could have changed quite a bit since the 25 years.
Yeah, so fun fact, since the 2000s, one major change in law happened is that it applies to multiple states, is there is a heavier duty to report than there used to be on the average person. And on the opposite
It's mostly
side,
because of the Patriot Act.
yes, and on the opposite side was something that really annoys me, is it has been further clarified and enshrined into law that even though the average person has a heavier duty to report, the police themselves have a smaller duty to rescue. Which really fucking annoys me.
Stupid.
That did happen, I think, sometime between the 2000s and the 2010s. It was a huge legal change.
Things like that, but generally,
But the reason why
people...
is especially when you look at, again, this was when I was either a baby or not even born yet, but when that time period happened, you had a lot of questions and a lot of people trying to be held on the hook for like, well, why didn't you report this suspicious activity from these Iranian or not Iranian, but Middle Eastern individuals who took this flight school? But like, you start getting a whole lot of accountability questions, and sadly, legislation has changed to account for that and make people in those positions who could have saved lives by reporting something, well, now you're liable for that. And again, yes, this is a change that happened in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Do not have to report a future crime, and there's no reverse thing. A son doesn't have to report a potential crime against their parent. So even though that's ethically kind of a shitty thing, there's no legal liability for him not warning his dad,
and that's why I mentioned too,
husband,
and I qualified it with you're obligated to report, not necessarily legally required.
Yeah. And like we also said, that even in states where like you might have a heavier obligation or duty to this, they probably would let the son off regardless.
Yeah, the son didn't do anything and he shut down the ideal when it was presented to him. The daughter, on the other hand, is a different story.
Yeah, we're about to get into her, and then I think we'll loop back around to the actual murder itself. Because I think what he's doing is he's just going in order of event.
Pretty much.
Or not telling the police. There's no legal responsibility there.
Interesting.
So son's completely off scot-free because he took no substantial step in helping wife, and he wasn't required to say anything about it.
Nice.
Now, daughter, on the other hand, is probably going to be on the hook for conspiracy and complicity. Because conspiracy maybe not because it wasn't her idea. So she didn't really help in planning it at all.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But she did facilitate the commission
But she took the step.
which technically can still work.
Yes. Yes.
Which can still work for conspiracy. So now that I reread the code section,
Big time, yes.
Oh yeah, she's
okay, yeah. So he's reading up on the code section. Sorry, I was just like he just tried to like I don't know about conspiracy. I'm like no, absolutely read the freaking and he read it and he's like no, okay, yeah, no, she's got it on conspiracy.
This is actually something I kind of talked about the other day, and I've talked about with Ava before. And this is not like a hate against this guy. This is a completely normal, natural thing. I hate when people act like lawyers are just unfalsifiable in everything they say.
Yeah, no, we're very fallible.
Yeah, like there's a lot of legal codes.
Yeah, Andrew will be one of the first to say, like, W mindset. He'll be like, yeah, I've been wrong several times before. And when we find out that we're wrong, we stand corrected and we're humble about it. Or, like, if you're a good lawyer, right?
Yeah.
Because a lawyer is just basically a professional student. We're spending all of our time learning about the law and the law as it changes.
Yeah.
So,
Like, lawyers will kind of speak more candidly when they're doing YouTube videos and stuff because they're not giving legal advice and there's really no stakes. They're just giving their opinion based on memory.
yeah.
When a lawyer is actually going to a court case, no, there's like weeks of research and shit. They're not just like, I'll just wing it.
Yeah,
I'll
they
remember
bring
it
up
fine.
Case law, they have there's a lot of shit. You don't pull Saul Goodman and just walk in there, hey ho, no, that's not how it works.
Yeah, we'll figure this out as we go.
You can't cousin of Vinny this shit.
But it's just one of those things that kind of annoys me because I think people have like a very weird idea of how law and lawyers work. And I think I told you this the other day, but there's also like the weird idea that if you let your if you don't renew your legal license, that suddenly you're just not a lawyer anymore. Like, yeah, you can't practice legally.
You're
But-
not an attorney anymore, but you're still a lawyer.
You didn't lose all that information you went to school for.
No, you didn't, but you do lose the bar certified backing that you are an active participant and you're actively like learning about the law as it changes,
Yeah.
You basically lose that accreditation, but it's okay to have lost that accreditation and still like open up a consultation company, right? That's what Ben Shapiro did. He passed the bar, he practiced law for 10 months, and then he quit law, opened up his consultation company, and has since let his license lapse. Even though he has more than enough money to maintain it, it's not relevant to his current job, so he has an inactive license. It doesn't mean he's any less of a lawyer, though.
Yeah. Like, all that information doesn't just vanish overnight because you're like, I don't really want to actually be a physical lawyer anymore.
Yeah, your head just turns empty. My pupils like drift apart. But sorry, I gave up on law. I lost all freaking reason.
He's probably going to be on the hook for both conspiracy and complicity for
Yeah.
help for both teaching teaching her how. Oh, actually, she never actually taught her it. Now that I read the question,
She did back out of
going
it.
to show her how to do it on June 1st.
But June 1st never
Yep,
came.
and then
Right.
backed out.
Yeah.
So she will get in trouble for buying the wire cutters to help her accomplish the task.
Yep.
Even though it was
Right.
never.
Yeah, even though it was never done, because that's still procuring supplies for committing the offense.
Right.
But she never actually showed her how to cut the brake line, so that's not going to count anything.
Interesting.
Right.
Now it does say before
Yeah, that's the
June 1st,
complicity.
however, her daughter reconsidered and had told wife she would not go through with it. So,
Right. Yep.
as Zach mentioned with the ABC wing question,
That's right.
abandonment can be a defense to these kind of crimes, these conspiracy and complicities.
Which you had appropriately pointed out.
Abandonment requires
Yeah. I think it's that ultimately does end up to what judge you're in front of and how severe the crime
Yeah,
is.
that's gonna be your strongest defense. Is like, look, yes, I did these things, but I got better on my actions and backed out of it. That's to a judge. That's gonna be a strong ass defense.
Yeah. But it's the big thing is gonna be depend like how far along you were and how strong
Yeah,
the
how many
crime
steps
was.
you took. One step to purchasing the pliers. Okay, maybe that can be forgiven. But like, if you took 2 or 3 steps and like it was like right up to the ante, and then you backed out, yeah, you could still be held on the hook for at least a few of those steps.
Yeah. Especially with something like murder. Like, kind of not a small thing. And then the fact you didn't report it. Because while he's correct that in a lot of places, especially at the time, you didn't really have a duty to report, it still is going to look negatively on you. Where it's like, okay, so you were a part of a conspiracy, you did abandon the conspiracy to commit murder, but you chose to keep it secret from police still. So how?
See, she would have a lot of leeway in a plea deal or something. The prosecutor would have a deal for her.
Oh, 100%.
Because she already backed out, so she's like, well, you can give us the information on what was planned in the conspiracy and everything, and then they'll pin it mostly on the mother, and the daughter will get off on minimal charges thanks to a plea deal.
Is showing that the person completely and voluntarily stopped all actions in furtherance of the actual crime.
Mm-hmm.
So, abandonment's a little weird because, like,
she did buy the wire
right,
cutters.
she didn't buy the wire cutters. She didn't try and like take the wire cutters away.
There are literal
And-
receipts.
Right, and often, if you want to really succeed on an abandonment defense, you should call the police on the person who is
Yeah, exactly.
committing the
There you
offense.
go,
That's a
Mizu.
huge benefit if you want to
The
succeed
only
on an abandonment.
appropriate defense that they have for abandonment is if they actually reported it. While they're not, they can't be gotten for not reporting the crime itself.
It hurts their defense by
If
not
they
doing
had
it.
reported the crime, exactly.
Abandonment defense.
That was my thought. It's like, yeah, if she's really kind of wanting to distance herself from the crime, then she should be like, hey, I bought something for it, but like, I don't want to do it anymore.
However, daughter is not a fucking narc.
Ah, damn, you're right. So
Okay, that was actually funny.
Cool.
So I guess overall, I think she's probably going to get. I do believe she's probably going to be in trouble for complicity. I don't think the abandonment defense is going to completely succeed. So that one, and then the final one's kind of simple.
Again, you could demand a jury trial for this, and I think a jury would be much more
Sympathetic.
open to the abandonment defense area. Yeah, exactly.
Because then she could also play it on like, well, she was my mom, and my dad was kind of a piece of shit. You know, I just wanted to help my mommy.
Wife
My mommy.
hired a hitman.
Yes, she did.
Yeah,
And she cooked a bad steak.
do that.
And the
Yeah, the real
important thing
crime.
to know, about complicity is that if you get committed for complicity of a crime, you can get prosecuted as if you had done the crime.
Yeah.
So even though she hired him to kill someone
Which is
else,
same as
that's
conspiracy.
obviously
Yep.
complicity, because when you give money to kill someone, you're aiding and abetting them. So she is also going to be on the hook for a double homicide. And probably the double homicide, because it doesn't matter that she only asked him to kill one.
Right.
She's probably going to be on the hook
Yep,
for both
because-
of them.
exactly.
Because they all occurred in the course of the same crime.
Damn.
So at the end of the day, wife's going down for attempted murder, and then conspiracy to commit murder. Daughter's probably going down with conspiracy to commit murder, and son's out of a family.
Probably better off though.
Yeah, the son's the loser
probably
here.
Better off is the only one who's not dead or in jail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, can the rest of the family then get tried for abandonment of the son?
He's 20.
Oh
he's
my
an
god.
So just to clarify, attempt. Mom's getting charged with attempted murder and conspiracy to commit murder.
Double
Attempt
homicide.
to commit murder counts the fact that two people were actually murdered. There's not like, no, you murdered.
Well, I mean, the attempt's going to be for the stake.
Oh, okay.
For the poison.
Yeah,
It was
the
solid-
stake.
It was a solid attempt.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Honestly,
no.
slightly worse than Breath of the Wild.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, they're not gonna charge you with attempt when the murder succeeded, because the murder is obviously the heavier offense.
Yeah,
But no, the attempted murder is gonna be for the rat poison.
that's fair. Okay.
And since that's a separate action, she can get both. She can get the attempted murder for that stacked on top of the double homicide for the hitman shooting.
Fair.
Dang.
Well,
This is coming.
On the side here, would you prefer running into trouble or Lucky's unlucky week?
Oh, that's eat everything here. Okay, hold on, clicking.
Also, really quick, I was just told that Cinder is trending on Twitter. Is she back?
I saw, maybe not, but I saw somebody post about her and say, even though the internet says I should hate her, I hope she's doing alright. Or something like that. I know Shy Lily just got her Nanoless model.
Did you see when we talked about that last night, by the way?
I didn't, you guys say cover it though?
Yeah, so, you see it right here?
Okay.
Do you see anything that, like, immediately catches your eye as strange?
No, but it probably will if you point it out.
Oops. Right here.
Oh, really?
Is it not
Okay.
just really weird looking?
A little bit, yeah.
So what throws me off more about this, and we kind of mentioned this, is typically with a VTuber, you know, you get the nude version, and then you get clothes to go on top of the nude version. So you would assume...
Yes, that's how my model's set up.
Yeah, so you would assume her body looks fairly uniform.
Like, it remained consistent between each outfit change.
Yeah, but then you have
It's
this.
the reason why we do it
and
like
then you
this.
have this.
Yeah, it doesn't look right at all.
And I
You
think
AI?
no, I think it's because she made it so like the breast would sag on this for the outfit, so she drew like another model over top of it. But
Oh, I think you're right.
she kind of lazied out on the breast, so now it's just like this weird kind of fused look to it. It just makes
She
it look
tried for the
super
uniboob
weird.
look. It didn't work.
I also noticed this on this side because you have the multiple different thighs. On this outfit, she has shorter hair than the others. So you can actually see
Yeah,
where
she
the
does.
line work on the legs just kind of freaks out here.
It does a little bit.
And you can't see on the other two parts because she's got her hair there, so it kind of covers it
Because
up.
the hair, yeah, it covers it, yeah.
But then here you can see that the actual
funny.
line just kind of disappears and fuses into the leg. I don't know what that's. Can't see Mizu. It's because it's very, very suspect looking, chat. It's not nude,
Yeah, like,
but
this would violate... It would violate something. That's all I know.
we showed it on stream last night. But here, chat, I will show you this part. Just because
Yeah,
this was the part
part's,
that
like,
threw
the
me off
most
immediately.
strange.
When we were talking about it last night, is on the left here you have like her regular outfit, and on the right here you have this new outfit. And you can see like quite clearly on the left is the prominent cleavage, and on the right, I think what they're going for is like the breasts are sagging because she's not wearing like a bra or anything. But then because of how they draw it, it kind of makes it look like her boobs are fusing together. It doesn't
and, like,
look
one
right.
has started to overtake the other.
Yeah.
It's not even symmetrical. It's starting to piss me off.
It looks really weird, and there's not even like because you have the shape of the breast on the right side, but you don't have it on the left. So it makes your body look odd.
I don't know what's happening.
I just don't like it. I think it looks weird. And it's her new Nanoless model, which Nanoless was the person that was making Cinder's old models and tried to call them out. Speaking of, the big thing that brought Cinder back into the news the other day was her artist that made the
One of them, yeah.
the model that people were accusing of being a copy of Spites. Not only did the artist prove that the artist basically put forth the idea that the model was started before Spites, but a lot of the details that Cinder was accused of copying from Spite were actually the artist's personal suggestions.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, so she mentioned stuff like one of the things that people were calling Cinder out for was she added like spiky collars and stuff to the model, which was more similar to Spite than her own thing. But the artist was like, actually,
Right.
no, I suggested we use those because I thought it would look cool. And I thought it would kind of fit the Hellhound theme. Which, by the way, a lot of us said early on, yes, the Hellhound thing that Spite was going for was in fact very generic. So trying to say that Cinder
Kind of, yeah.
really copied anything was a stretch to start with. But this artist coming out just kind of proved like, yeah, no, they were just more generic ideas that the artist liked. It was not a copycat
Wasn't there another
situation.
artist who said that like they had information that would like patently disprove one of the claims?
That was
then
this
they were,
artist.
Like, bullied into deleting that tweet. Okay, that was this tweet. Okay.
Yeah. Can we trust the artist though? Yes. This is factually the artist that drew the model. So I mean, if we're going for anything, we're just saying like, oh well, her artist is lying to protect her, and it's kind of like, why would they do that? When they would have a better.
Not only that, if our base rubric for Evelyn's telling the truth, which is like what people have been going with Shy Lily and everybody else, well then this artist is also telling the truth. You can't have stricter standards for like people who are directly involved, like an artist, than somebody who was just involved through third party. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Did you decide, by the way, you'd rather do Running Into Trouble or Lucky's Unlucky Week?
Let's do Lucky's Unlucky Week. That one sounds kind of funny.
Lucky had a very unlucky week.
Oh god.
What a great start to a bar exam question.
On Monday, Lucky
That is a very
participated-
good
That
one.
is something I do have to say, yeah. Like, some of these bar exam questions feel like they were written by, like, a high school
that's so
teacher
good.
trying to keep his
Yeah, I
students,
know,
like,
right?
entertained.
And that is what they come across as. But like, Lucky is at a very unlucky week.
Like, this doesn't sound like it was written by, like, a very professional team of lawyers trying to come up with, like, really good exam
No,
questions.
but it's so good still. It's so good.
It's like I could see my old history teacher being like, exam question 1, Lucky had a very unlucky week.
in a friendly snowball fight with some of the other adults from his neighborhood.
Somebody put a rock in the snowball.
Oh, no. God, you probably have guessed right. That's probably what's happened. But I imagine because it's Ohio, it gets so much worse. I know it's gonna get so much worse.
Okay.
This is adorable. I love it.
He received a nasty cut over his eye when Buster, one of the participants, hit him with a Buster special.
A
tightly
Buster
packed
Oh, no.
special.
But special.
A Buster special, a tightly packed snowball in which Buster had concealed a small stone.
Okay, no, that's illegal. You don't do that.
That's
Buster.
a huge ass snow. Look at that snow. What? Look at that stone.
A small stone, and they used a picture of like the world's
Dude,
biggest
that's
fucking
so
rock.
That's like a baseball fucking sized rock covered by a thin layer of snow. I can't even right now.
Come on, that's bad etiquette.
Buster, that's a bad spell. I don't want to return that special.
Lucky did not see Buster's snowball coming before it hit him.
That's generally how it works. Yeah.
On Tuesday, Lucky went to the hospital to have his eye examined. Mistaking him for a dangerous patient missing from hospital psychiatric unit.
Wait, what? What?
Mistaking him for a dangerous patient missing from hospital psychiatric unit, hospital staff forcibly strapped Lucky to a bed.
Mizu, pause it, please. Please, son. Please pause it, please. Do you see? Do you see lights? And, well, you might be right. It's gonna get so much worse. Okay, so in pursuing care, he has now been strapped to a bed, mistaken as a dangerous mental patient.
I think the question is gonna be who all can Lucky sue and for what? Because I feel like it's just gonna be a week of like, yeah, Lucky can sue this guy, Lucky can sue that guy.
There's a lot of people that Lucky can sue. Holy shit!
Lucky! Oh my god!
2
That
hours
is a
later,
rock.
they realized their mistake and set Lucky free.
Is this just like?
All right, so
"Aw,
that's gonna be
shoot, my
unlawful
bad,
holding,
dog."
probably.
Hashtag justice for Lucky.
Yeah.
Moving on to Wednesday, Lucky encountered Buster again.
Oh no.
Buster was just a few feet away and had another snowball in his hand.
Buster!
Oh, no.
Fuck, dog!
Buster cocked his arm as if to throw the snowball and shouted, "Here comes another Buster special."
Oh no!
The fact that he said it is so good.
Did Lucky pull out his gun and shoot him?
Lucky pivoted to avoid being hit,
Oh, hell yeah.
slipped on some ice, and twisted his ankle.
Jesus!
Oh my god!
Buster did not, in fact, throw the snowball.
Doesn't
So
matter.
he just faked it. Oh my god.
Yeah, he did,
Fuck
but still
Buster.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, you could still get in trouble. Like, think if it's less of like a
Because of the pattern
snowball.
that had previously been established.
Yeah. Think of it more like a
And-
fist,
Yeah,
right?
the intimidation or threatening, basically.
Like if I threaten to punch you in the face
so
and I
that's
cock my
assault.
fist back to punch you in the face and you turn to run and
That's
hit
assault.
something, like it's still my fault.
Yeah, there you go, you got it.
For real?
Yep, no, this is
On
pretty good.
Thursday,
Here comes another
Lucky
Buster
returned to
special.
hospital
It's Lucky getting fucked at the hospital again.
Oh no, please tell me no.
to have his painful ankle examined. At Lucky's request,
don't
a
do
physician employed by hospital gave Lucky an injection of medication to relieve the pain.
Uh-oh.
No,
The
don't do it.
physician
No.
failed to mention that the medication is known to cause a significant increase in pain in 1 out of every 10,000 people who take it.
What a random
Lucky,
side effect.
living up to his name, Lucky's pain increased dramatically, and he had to spend an extra day Friday in hospital to get his pain under control.
Jesus
Oh my god.
On Saturday, Lucky
All right,
again
so,
encountered Buster.
Real quick. I don't think he's gonna have much thing there because him going in, there's a lot of things that you sign that basically waive your rights in lieu of care. Just because this rare side effect existed and they failed to like warn you about it, doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna be liable for that.
However, it also depends on state. Some states
that's
are a
true.
bit more specific on the how much you should or shouldn't know in regards to your own medical care.
Yeah, that's fair.
I know my state in particular basically says that for most places, it is considered informed consent that you should kind of be informed on your own. Or that you can be informed on your own. And the doctor can just kind of give it to you if you tell them that, yeah, I know what it'll do.
Right.
Motherfucker.
No!
Holding
Akakun, can the hospital sue Lucky for stealing the forceps they forgot inside him during surgery?
No, but he's unlucky enough that they will.
Oh, that would be horrendous. Your Honor, he stole important medical equipment. Oh, how did he steal
He
it?
left it in his body.
Yeah, we forgot it inside him when he
They
was
still
doing
saw it.
surgery.
He wasn't conscious when he allegedly took this appliance out. Okay, oh, my brain hurts.
Poor Lucky would be so unlucky the judge would be like, why did you steal it, bro? Give it back.
his
And
arm
then he
behind
just
his
open him
back,
up right there.
Buster
Oh
approached
my-
Lucky and said that he had a special delivery for Lucky.
my
This
God!
this man is a terrorist.
Fuck Fuck this guy.
As Buster began to bring his arm forward, Lucky reacted by punching him.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Good for you. Good for you.
I don't
Lucky.
care if that's legally wrong. Buster fucking deserved that one.
But wait,
the
is
punch-
it actually that Buster had like a bouquet of flowers for him or something?
The punch broke Buster's nose, causing Buster to drop the get well card and gift he had been about to hand Lucky.
God damn it.
Ah,
Called it
Jesus.
Wes.
God
Damn it.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
I'm still hashtag team fuck Buster, but sure.
I mean, no. Yeah, absolutely. Buster deserved it.
So the question is just what potential civil actions does Lucky have against Buster and against Hospital and their defenses, and then what potential civil action does Buster have against Lucky?
So I will say in the Buster versus Lucky part at the end, because I've sort of seen this as well in court cases. That could be a situation where it could end up where you could both get in trouble or neither of you can get in trouble, sort of deal. I think they would still more
I
heavily
would
side with
say-
Lucky, because Buster did it
Yes.
twice unprompted before Lucky finally
and the
kind of
pattern had been
retaliated.
established. So a reasonable person, exactly. Yeah, you. I think you're probably on the mark there.
Yeah. That one's going to be kind of more courts see it, at least from Buster's side. But they're going to be like,
Yeah,
well,
that'll
you
be
did, like,
litigated.
dome him twice. Well, technically, you domed him once and then caused him to break his leg the next time. So he kind of has a reasonable reason to fear you. New evidence shows
Just
Lucky was actually
Buster
awake during
showing
surgery.
up out of nowhere. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Since the anesthesia only
The
paralyzed
anesthesia
him.
only paralyzed him. Oh my God!
So he was conscious of the forceps theft. That would be so horrific. Holy shit. That's new fear unlocked. Not gonna lie.
Dude, that is that like paralyzed. Yeah, no, I don't like it.
The hospital's actually unironically gonna be kind of complicated.
It probably will, only because of how many protections hospitals have, but they probably will get hit with unlawful holding because there's a there's a multitude of like safeguards that they're supposed to have in place where mistaken identity should not happen.
Yeah.
So they probably, for the first encounter, they will get hit. For the second encounter, they probably won't.
Yeah. The second encounter really ends up kind of depending on state, and I wouldn't doubt he like pulls out some Ohio law where it's like, yeah, actually, it's very explicitly addressed on this. Well, because states have like, most states do have like something explicitly that
do.
addresses that, and typically goes one way or the other. Also, this picture of the doctor he uses looks like a slightly more fat Mr. Bean. I think it's just because of the face he's making and the eyebrows. He's just missing like that big mole. It's just Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean, if he like gained 50 pounds.
And became a doctor.
I imagine
mean-
Lucky gets fucking everything and Buster can eat rocks. I don't know. I fucking hope so.
That's the world that I want to live
Yeah. Okay, legitimately, obviously throwing the fucking rock snowball.
in.
Buster get
Yeah,
fucked.
not cool. Yeah.
The hospital for locking him up. It's
Yeah.
pretty. Hey, hospital, get fucked.
Sue the fucking hospital.
Yeah, that's unlawful holding.
The nurse.
I don't know if he mentioned it or not. If he mentioned like what are their defenses, I do think the hospital would try and use a defense of that they thought he was a dangerous patient, and they didn't really have any.
That's exactly what they would say.
I think.
But again, there are redundancies in place, so mistaken identity should not happen, and the courts will view it as a fault or feeling of the hospital in the case of mistaken identity. So really, if the hospital proposes that defense, what's going to happen is the courts are like, nah, that doesn't work. You have shit. in place to prevent this from happening. So it's kind of like a suicide defense. Like, okay, you've not only admitted that you did the thing, but the one thing that we have put in place so this doesn't happen, you are basically admitting you didn't do.
Yes. I think that's the defense for that, though. I think the defense for Buster in the first one is a lawyer would probably pull something out of his ass about, like, reasonable assumption of risk, which, again, wouldn't really work because you don't...
because it was a, but you're thinking like a mutual combat kind of thing.
Yeah.
They all agreed in this, so that would be the defense.
That's probably the best you could do in the case of that, but, like, it's pretty easy to shoot down. Like, a normal person knows you don't put fucking rocks and snowballs.
Yeah.
It's
the Buster special.
kind of like a reasonable assumption of risk. We all went to go play paintball and somebody brought an actual 9mm. It's like it was a combat sport, and every time I shot somebody, it was red. Baked Buddhist member for 1 month. There's a documented case of that happening. A lady was conscious but couldn't move, felt everything, blacked out a few times from the pain. Baked Buddhist for 2. She got a huge settlement. I would imagine so. That is absolutely new horror.
That's terrifying.
Chris didn't mention the potential dangerous side effect is also hospital get fucked.
Yeah.
And Buster, even though he didn't throw the snowball, I think there was a question like this before. If you fake like you're going to do something, you still are liable.
Oh, I will say this too. On the hospital not telling him about the side effect, I think that you actually have a lesser defense when one of the side effects could be increases the exact thing we're trying to prevent. Like, it's kind of a lesser thing when the side effects are
that does that.
Like, this is a pain reliever, but it could make you sleepy. This is a pain reliever, but it could make it hard to sleep. Those things are a bit more, like, out there.
Remember, when you are triaged in the hospital, you sign away a lot of your rights in lieu of treatment.
Yes.
You really do.
Well, for somebody,
this is why it's hard for a family to sue, because they go into the emergency room, they don't know they're allergic to penicillin, and then they die due to anaphylactic shock, and it's like, what happened? Well, they were allergic to penicillin, didn't know it, but we had you sign this informed consent waiver before you even got triaged.
Yeah.
So it defeats a lot of that.
Way.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure in the other 2 instances, Buster is also fucked, but I don't know.
All right, well, let's go through this by day.
Mm-hmm.
Let's break it down.
So Lucky's Monday is obviously the snowball fight where he first encounters the Buster Special.
Mm-hmm.
The dreaded Buster Special.
So the potential civil actions we have here are assault, which is apprehension of harmful contact, and battery, which is a harmful or offensive contact.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
The defense would be consent, in that he consented to join in this snowball fight, and getting hit with a snowball is part of the actions you would normally expect to happen during a snowball fight.
Yeah.
But not snowballs with rocks in them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Buster Special.
Yeah. That's kind of the only defense is he consented to it, and then the counter is consented to get hit with a snowball, not with a rock.
Yeah, exactly. I still love the size of the stone in the picture.
It's so huge.
Like, that's not.
No,
it's not called a Buster Special fight. It's a snowball fight.
Buster Special.
Right. You are correct in that. Placing a rock inside a snowball would be considered outside of the normal conduct for a snowball fight.
Right.
It's the same way that if you agree to play a football game and get tackled and break your leg, you can't sue the guy who tackled you. But if he punched you in the face, then you could, because you only consented to the normal. You only consented to the normal conduct of that activity.
Right.
But what if you're playing punch face football?
Well, that's completely different.
Yeah.
So in this case, now notice the question said Lucky did not see the Buster Special.
By the way, I can tell that Bridge he's got the autism hard because, like, any of the jokes that Zachary West throws, he just takes it completely literally.
Yeah. I mean, it's fair. He is the lawyer in the room. And they're doing like a
Yeah,
legal thing.
I enjoy pointing out and acknowledging autism
Yeah.
in all of its forms.
So the assault part actually doesn't work because he didn't have any time to apprehend the harmful contact.
Okay.
But obviously
Okay.
the
Yeah.
battery does for getting hit by the rock.
Battery
Yes.
does.
Yeah.
Moving on to Tuesday, is the hospital is being suspected of being a psychiatric patient escaping and strapped to a table for 2 hours. Once again, we technically have assault and battery again because grabbing someone and strapping them in is still assault and battery.
That's book wild.
Yeah.
But we also obviously add false imprisonment, which is
Okay,
to
which is
confine a
unlawful
victim
only.
to a set amount
Yeah.
of space without consent and without authority of law.
Mm-hmm.
What the hospital is going to defend with is claiming that they had a suspicion that he was a potentially dangerous person and thus had a privilege. It's almost like a pseudo version of the privilege to arrest.
Can we hand
someone
it
that
to
you see
Mizo
committing a
again
felony.
for nailing the appropriate defense? Cavella was exactly right again. That's like 2 for 2.
I like to think I know at least a little bit. A couple things here and there.
Money or shoplifting.
Right.
But obviously these guys aren't the cops; they're hospital staff.
Yeah.
Now the issue with this one though is 2 hours too long to fix their mistake. You can detain someone for a reasonable period of time if you suspect them, but it probably shouldn't have taken
It's like
the
10
hospital
minutes.
2 hours to fix.
Yeah, that's kind of where mine was coming in. Is probably the time.
It's like 10, 15 minutes.
Like, you're like, I suspect this person is a crazy criminal, and it's like, okay, why did it take you over
Which
2
is
hours
fine,
to
but
deduce
now
that?
it's your duty of care to confirm the identity of that person, not hold them for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Figure out this is not the same person.
If he had been detained for like 5 minutes, then it's like, okay, whatever. But 2 hours strapped to a gurney?
Yeah.
Exactly. So Lucky probably succeeds on the false imprisonment claim because the 2
Yeah, big
hours
time.
were not a reasonable period of time.
Right.
And then assault and battery as well.
Yeah.
Moving on to Wednesday is the
Buster special.
The Buster special too.
When he doesn't throw the snowball.
Yeah.
Now this
Which
one
is not
flips
battery
from
but
the
assault.
first one
Yeah.
because he didn't actually throw the snowball, so there's no battery. But Buster raising his arm to throw it is the apprehension of imminent contact that creates assault.
Gotcha.
And there's probably really no defense here for Bucky. I just combine their names.
Bucky.
For Bucky.
Bucky.
For Bucky Barnes and Captain America.
Yeah, I was to say Captain America shows up.
So there's probably really no
Buck,
defense here
I don't want the
for
Buster
Buster.
special.
Because, I mean, he definitely faked like he was doing. It doesn't matter if he ever intended to throw it. He still faked the action. So he's going to be liable for Lucky trying to avoid it and falling over and hurting himself.
Absolutely. Hey, Buster. Hey, Buster. How's the Buster special work from behind bars, you fuck?
Well, there's all civil actions.
Jesus.
This is all for money, not to put him in jail.
He deserves it.
He deserves it.
Now,
Oh my
Thursday
god.
is the second trip to the hospital where he gets the pain medication with the very rare side effect that just happens
Yes,
to...
this is the one he... Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Surprisingly, though, he possibly has a claim against the company that makes the product. Because even if they do list side effects, I've seen people win in cases on that regardless.
That's true, but I don't think the question asked about what claims it could bring against the company. It was against the hospital.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's just funny. It's also one of those things I just find interesting that a company that makes medicine can list all the potential side effects and then still get charged when one of those side effects occur in somebody. Well, not charged, but still like lose in civil court when one of those side effects happen.
Yeah, it does seem a little weird to me.
Happens to, in fact, affect Lucky. So you would once again have assault, battery, and false imprisonment, sort of. there's a weird false imprisonment claim for by causing him to be at the hospital against, he didn't want to be at the hospital, but because of the pain he had to be.
Oh, well, that's an interesting claim, I guess, but I think that's a
I
rather
feel like
weak
that's
one.
something a sleazy attorney tries to pull up. Like, just to, like, tack shit onto the case.
I think that one's kind of, exactly. That one's kind of like, okay, you can kind of get there, but, like, I'm stretching my logic meter to do so.
Yeah, like, I am... might as well be an Olympian with all that stretching.
Exactly. It's a little much.
The defense for any assault and battery and false imprisonment things is going to be consent, and that obviously Lucky chose to go to the hospital and get treated. So any contact from giving him medication or keeping him there is not going to be a cause of action. What the cause of action in this case is going to be is negligence, which is by not warning him of the potential side effect.
Yeah, that would be a big
That's a
one.
negligence action.
Yeah.
The bar question itself says do not discuss any claims based on negligence.
Oh.
That...
Oh, does it? That's weird.
That's a weird clarification. Because that seems like a pretty obvious...
There's reasons why these are no longer in the circulation of, like, the Ohio State bar exam. So, like, maybe they realize, like, this is a weird clarification. Why have this in there?
Yeah.
Because, I don't... Negligence is, like, one of the biggest claims that you would have here.
Yeah, because, like, all the other stuff he mentioned, I'm like, I don't see any of that, personally. And I see more negligence, and then the bar question literally says, don't discuss negligence. Like,
don't talk about it.
Okay.
Motherfucker.
I kind of thought that was the only thing we had here, but alright.
So in this one, you would...
That would, this was something you kind of learn when you are looking at how people make tests, but sometimes a question is less reflective on the material and more reflective on the person creating the test. And I think this particular part of this question is more reflective on the lawyer or team of lawyers who made the question than it is on the test itself. It's like you guys really wanted a specific answer out of this and didn't want people to talk about anything else.
Literally just say, so you can honestly just exclude that part completely, but I'll mention for the sake of this explanation that obviously a physician or a medical professional has a duty to describe all potential side effects. Even if they're rare, they have to disclose all those things to you. So while you wouldn't answer in this question, there is a negligence claim here because despite 1 in 10,000 being a rare side effect, you're still required to disclose that.
Right.
And then finally, it's Saturday, Lucky's revenge.
Go Lucky!
Buster's going to flip the tables and try and bring an assault and battery claim against Lucky, and Lucky is going to counter with with self-defense.
Uh-huh.
And again, self-defense is a reasonable belief of impending danger and reasonable steps in preventing the harm to oneself with an appropriate level of response.
My computer keeps dinging as if, like, something is happening. And I don't understand what it's trying to ping.
Is that your computer or the video?
Did it sound like it was coming from the video? Like the Windows notification
I think it's coming
sound?
from the video. I think it was Pridge.
Okay. Because I keep hearing the Windows notification sound. I'm like, I'm not seeing any notifications pop up. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's Pridge.
Yeah.
So generally,
Swift, like...
After the first two incidents, I'd argue Lucky has a reasonable belief. That his belief that there's another snowball coming is reasonable, because this would be the third time. And a punch to the face, I would argue, is reasonable counter to getting hit with a rock in the face. Lucky is not the aggressor, so it's an appropriate level of response. So I would say that Lucky probably gets away with this completely because I believe I would say he has a reasonable belief that he's going to get hit again. His response to protect himself was appropriate given the circumstances.
Yo.
If I am Buster's lawyer, I think what I go for is to say he only actually got hit with the snowball one time. So he is now basing a pattern behavior off exactly one hit, because the second hit never actually occurred, so he didn't know there was going to be a rock in it.
The pattern of behavior is the assault on 2 counts.
That's what I'm saying. My argument as a lawyer would be the second count didn't actually happen. There was a belief.
Oh, that's right, because the first count didn't count as assault because he didn't see it coming. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good defense.
That's probably the best I can do for him. But I do believe a judge would kind of be like, yeah, he kind of did have a reasonable expectation that you were going to hit him with another fucking rock.
Yeah.
Well, there is justice in the world. Lucky gets off scot-free, and Buster gets fucked. Thank God. I'm so happy.
So that is the story of.
Yes, that was Lucky's unlucky week.
That was a good one.
Oh yeah, poor Lucky
Just because
got
of how
fucked.
much it escalated.
Need you change your notification sound so you don't have that issue?
Special.
All of my notification sounds are different except for that one. Because when Gura had her thing, her anniversary, if you bought her anniversary merch, you got a list of Discord sounds of Gura saying stuff, of Windows sounds of Gura saying stuff. So now most of my Windows sounds are like Gura's voice. Because I'm weird like that. Every time I unplug something on my computer, it's Gura saying disconnected.
Oh, that's cute.
There's also one of her saying you got mail, but like I never use that one because like when do you ever get mail? Like at least like through Microsoft
once a week.
Because like I think the only way that one activates is if Windows gives you a mail notification. So it has to be through like their system, and I don't like using their system. It's garbage.
Yeah, I have most like Windows 10 systems like turned off in one way or another.
In the age of spam, that'd be a constant notice. Oh, 100%. If you actually just connected it to your regular email, it would just be like, you got mail over and over again. It would drive me nuts.
Then you put a beat over it and it becomes a remix. You got mail. You got mail.
Probably would be triggered by Outlook. I think it does have to be through Outlook. Do you want to do one more before we call it?
Yeah, one more sounds good.
I'm torn between the carjacker and cobras in Ohio.
Let's do the carjacker, please. Because that sounds like it could escalate so good.
In January, Mom was running errands in Anytown, Ohio, with her infant child, Baby.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is good. Oh no, there's already a baby involved. This is gonna be great.
I think you have actually described this one to me before when you were pitching this idea.
This is when I'm not gonna say anything, but this is the one that made me go, we should do this, yeah.
In her car seat. When Mom pulled up to a self-service fuel pump to fill her gas tank, she kept the car running to keep Baby warm while she filled the gas tank at the rear of the car.
Oh, no.
And while she was facing away from the car and hooking the nozzle of the fuel hose back on the pump, Mom did not notice carjacker jump into the driver's seat of her car.
Oh shit. Not what I thought was going to happen.
She turned back toward her car just as carjacker was driving away. Mom frantically hopped into a nearby car.
As a side note,
just as carjacker.
I've seen that video before.
Have you really?
It's so funny. It's like a student driver video.
Yeah, it's really good.
It just rips
driving away with the pump.
Some people do not belong on the road.
was driving away. Mom frantically hopped into a nearby car to follow Carjacker.
She's gonna.
Are we assuming she stole a car? Or are we assuming it's her? She had a
She did
valid
steal a
right to
car.
be in the car.
No, she had her car stolen, and in the moment she jumped into a bystander's car to pursue Carjacker.
A weird.
Don't worry,
Let's stop the
trust me, it's gonna get crazier.
Carjacker by carjacking.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to Mom, the car was owned by bystander who had left his unoccupied vehicle running while he went inside the gas station to buy coffee.
Why does everyone
You
do
don't
that?
By the way,
fuck with
look,
bystander.
Dave,
Because
biggest thing here. Do not leave the car running while you're at the gas station. What are you doing, all these people?
Yeah, take your keys out of your car. You're also just supposed to not have it on when you're pumping gas to start with.
Tis also that too, yeah.
There's like a billion warnings over the gas tank about car off,
Yeah,
don't smoke.
Explosions and fire.
Because Mom's phone was inside her purse in her car, she used bystander's cell phone to call 911. She reported the carjacking incident and kept the dispatcher apprised of Carjacker's whereabouts as she pursued him.
As you also carjack somebody.
While trying to keep up with Carjacker as he sped along rural roads in the dark, Mom struck several roadside mailboxes, causing
Why?
Okay, that's funny. Here,
Why the mailbox?
tis randomly.
Oh. So, side note, because this was the pirate software thing, when he was talking about Comcast hitting his mailbox, he just like reiterated 100 times
yeah.
over, like, it's a federal offense to destroy somebody's mailbox. It's a felony. I'm like, it technically is, but like, if you look at the law, they kind of, if it's not intentional, they kind of prefer to go with like misdemeanors. Because there's like a
Yeah, you have
misdemeanor
to
count of
improve.
destruction of property.
Exactly.
They're not going to be like, somebody accidentally hit your mailbox, we're giving them a felony charge.
And look, I don't want to hear Pirate Software lecturing anybody about felonies when he committed one when he false DMCA'd that Steam parody game.
Oh, that was still such a shit behavior.
It's shit behavior because he knows what he did was a felony because he's talked about how false DMCA's are a felony.
Yeah.
So he knows he committed it. Hey, whatever.
significant damage to the body of bystander's car.
Was she also drunk?
So, Mom is currently on the hook for carjacking, destruction of property being the car, destruction of property being the mailboxes. I found this out looking up the pirate software the other thing. There is a specific misdemeanor charge for destroying mailboxes that they can use. That might be state by state, though.
Here's the thing. She might get off the carjacking.
Possibly.
Not the destruction of property, but because she's behaving in a reasonable amount. Now it depends on if she returns the car. If she doesn't return the car, then she's gonna get hit.
And because this is the matter of the baby being in the car, she's not chasing property.
Exactly. But she's under. There's a duress thing. Yeah, exactly. There's a whole. Her actions can be justified under the defense of oneself or others.
Yes, and even if it doesn't pass that, you can get a pretty sympathetic judge to mom chasing stolen child.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know, man. When Carjacker parked the car and went inside another convenience store, Mom advised the 911 dispatcher, who told Mom to stay in the car and wait for the police to arrive.
Pridge.
Yeah.
Will I
That's
win
not
the
gonna
bet
happen.
if I say that she's not going to do that?
There's
I
still
mean,
like
come on,
another
you have
2
to,
minutes on the story. She's not going to do that.
Yeah, it's just no, she's not going to do that because, like, baby in car. Okay, that kind of trumps a lot of reason, even in the eyes of the court.
Yes. Also, you should listen to dispatcher's chat. However, as we have confirmed with George Zimmerman, you don't necessarily have to in order to get off of a charge.
I mean, yeah, that is true.
You would, actually.
Yeah.
Mom did not have another set of car keys with her, so she could not drive off in her car with baby. But she discovered that carjacker had not locked the car doors. First,
Okay.
she opened the
Why is the carjacker smart enough to take the fucking keys out of the car when he goes inside? Not smart enough to lock the
That's
door,
actually kind of funny.
but he took the keys.
He did take the keys with him.
front passenger door and grabbed the loaded handgun that she kept in her glove box.
Holy
Okay.
shit,
As
what?
she was
Wait a
climbing
minute,
into the
what?
backseat
Holy
to
my
remove
fucking
baby,
god.
She saw a carjacker. Mom jumped out of the car and pointed her handgun at carjacker. She told him to toss her the keys or she would shoot him. Carjacker simply laughed at Mom and continued walking toward her car.
What is the
People
deal?
laugh in the most inappropriate situations in any town.
Just so casual.
As carjacker
Oh, so this is a semi-complaint I do have with the law a little bit regarding kind of self-defense, where they're like, well, they did not pose like a direct threat to you, and they did not have a deadly weapon like brandished towards you. So why did you think that like they were harmful to you? If I have a gun pointed
This
at
is why
somebody's
self-defense
face
wouldn't work,
and
but
they don't
defense of
stop,
oneself or others would be.
yeah.
Because there's the baby. There's the baby you come into the defense of. They're
Yeah.
completely defensive. Your existence as a person is a threat to that baby's life, potentially.
Well, I mean just
So
in
that's what they
general.
would get. It wouldn't be self-defense. No, you're right.
Because
but
it's like,
this
if I
would
have a
be
gun
right.
pointed
There's
at
be a little
somebody's
bit changing
face
the wording.
and they're still approaching me, I feel like that's a valid reason to
I'm
consider
shooting
they're a
that
massive
motherfucker.
danger.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you were,
Especially if they laugh.
yeah, you were a nutter
Like,
at that
okay, he
point.
responded to which, yeah, we're done. We're done asking questions. We're done with everything. It's time to die.
Get me on brandishing or whatever you want. You're not gonna get me on not self-defense though, because that guy's clearly crazy and gonna hurt somebody.
got closer, Mom pleaded with him. Okay, take my car, but let me get baby out of the back seat. Carjacker again laughed and said, Lady, that's the reason I took your car. I can get good money for
What is this story?
I'm sorry, what? I was sorry, what?
Also, how much is a baby on the black market right now? I thought they typically go for like
50,000.
teenage girls.
Apparently not. This guy wants the baby.
That's so weird. You're to traffic your kid.
Dude,
Yeah, no,
that's
at that
such a-
point
that's
you're
so-
shooting.
Like, this is such an unnecessary twist. Yeah, I'm shooting at this point. Yeah, absolutely.
that kid.
What the what? What a fucking plot twist!
Mom again warned Carjacker to stay away from the car, but he continued laughing and walking toward the car. As he reached for the driver's side door,
Yeah, you're a
Mom fired
psycho.
her handgun, striking Carjacker in the knee. Carjacker fell to the ground, no longer laughing.
I like that clarification. He was no longer laughing.
Still, because he was just shot.
To ensure Carjacker could not flee before the police arrived, Mom stood over him with her gun pointed at his head. What kind of sicko would steal and
Oh
sell
my
a
God.
baby? I should shoot you a few more times and let you die in terrible pain. Mom continued to threaten to kill Carjacker until the police arrived 10 minutes later. Carjacker eventually fully recovered from his physical injuries. Carjacker was convicted of crime stemming from the carjacking incident. He began receiving mental health treatment in prison and was diagnosed with PTSD, which the doctors attributed to his encounter with Mom.
PTSD from what? Kidnapping babies?
Carjacker has filed an intentional tort action against Mom. Bystander got his
Oh,
car
no.
and cell phone back, but was unable to recover from his or Mom's insurers for the damages to his car. He filed an intentional tort action against Mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we got here is what intentional torts can carjacker prove against mom, and what defenses can she assert? And then same question for bystander.
So the tort against mom, he's already kind of said it. He's like filing sort of like an emotional I forget the exact word
intentional
for it.
infliction of emotional distress.
Yes, but it doesn't work because he
IIED.
caused the situation in which the emotional distress arose
There
from.
you go. But this would be the tort that he could bring up, though.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's not a strong one, but this is the one that he would bring up.
They are not asking the questions I thought they were going to be asking about this, if I can be quite frank.
No, because it's like just like freaking baby theft and shit involved, and then you're like, what about the damage to the car? And it's like, I don't care about that.
What about the damage to the car, and what about the damage to the carjacker?
And then we say we don't care about that, and all of a sudden you hear, there are no Epstein files. Motherfucker, again.
I think carjacker lawyer has to go with the pointing the gun at his head while he's on the ground.
Yeah, that's probably what they're gonna point to.
And him not having an actual, like, deadly weapon and not making a motion to physically harm the mother herself. And obviously the defenses are going to be
he was
like...
making motion, the advancing, despite being
Yes.
pointed at, is a threatening action in and of itself. So that might be the defense, but it's easily disparate. No, you were laughing and advancing on me. That's the definition of threatening.
Strongest
That's damn
defense
near
is
new
gun
nightmare
pointed at
log.
his head when he's on the ground.
Yeah, that for intentional infliction of emotional distress, absolutely.
But I still don't
know
think you're
that
going
it's
to get it
very
because you
far,
caused the
again, it's a
situation.
result of exactly. It's kind of like a citizen's arrest. She's holding you in position until the cops arrive.
Yeah, and you've already proven that you're quite a dangerous person with very low consideration
Proven
for
that you're like
safety.
low-key the Joker from Batman.
Yeah. I think it's a lot simpler for the bystander because it says specifically that they're going for damages. I think it's pretty straightforward.
They
Like,
probably have some entitlement to damages incurred. Defense is obviously going to be, oh, these were incurred when I was pursuing the kidnapper of my child, but that's not necessarily going to absolve them of the damages that they put on the car.
yeah. The only ones that particularly seem to be exempt from damages, when trying to prevent when trying to prevent a crime, seem to be police and firefighters. And even then, people still try and take them to court for it.
Yeah.
So for a regular person, though, I don't think you're getting anywhere with that. They're going to be like, yeah, we understand why you did it, so we're not going to charge you with, like, theft or anything. But, no, you're still on the hook for the damages. Like, you got to fix the bro's car.
Yeah, they won't charge them with theft anyway because the car and the phone were both returned.
Yeah.
Commander?
I mean, like, I feel like Mom, in regards to carjacker, is like pretty cool on most accounts. Like the trying to save her child from a guy trying to sell her child.
I think you're right, except for the standing over the head taunting with the gun part. That's got to be a thing,
but
right?
is that a crime?
Well, before it was intentional, not intentional. Wasn't there a thing in the first one that was like unlawful, like holding of somebody, imprisonment?
It's false imprisonment.
False imprisonment.
Uh-huh.
I mean, to be fair, she did kneecap him, so it's not like dude was going anywhere. But like,
I
right.
mean,
Which
yeah,
I feel
that
like
is true.
shooting him is totally fine because he was coming at her.
Her
which could
child
be
was in
argued that-
danger.
Yeah, that's self-defense of her and her child. So shooting him, I think, is totally acceptable in that particular scenario.
What's the story?
It really sucks for bystander because
Yeah, bystander got fucked in this one.
bystander gets fucked in this.
Yeah.
This one isn't actually super complicated. I would have loved to have this question because it's honestly not super hard. So, carjacker can attempt to make claims of assault, battery, false imprisonment, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. So in this context, even though we say the terms assault and battery as one, they actually are two different things. Assault is the threat, battery is the action.
Okay.
So the assault's going to be her pointing the gun at him, and the battery is going to be shooting. Both of those, she's going to have a self-defense / defense of others, and in both cases, it's probably going to succeed. It's pretty reasonable to say if someone was kidnapping your child, their life's in danger, and thus you have reason to respond with deadly force.
Okay.
So she's probably fine on both of those. False imprisonment, as you mentioned, is her standing over him and pointing the gun. This is probably not self-defense, but for this one, she has the defense of a citizen's arrest, essentially. Which because she was certain he had committed felonies, she was certain he had committed felonies.
Yeah.
So in that situation, she can conduct a citizen's arrest.
Gotcha.
So the standing over him, preventing him from leaving, she's fine on that one too. The final one is intentional infliction of emotional distress. The big thing here is it's pretty hard to prove intentional infliction of emotional distress. The keywords tend to be extreme or outrageous conduct that causes severe distress in the victim. And again, extreme and outrageous tends to be the key factor here. And given the situation, I doubt you're going to find mom's conduct extreme and outrageous.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy was literally trying to kidnap and sell her baby. So just because she threatened to shoot him probably isn't going to be seen as outrageous. When they say outrageous, they say exceeds all bounds of decency in a civilized society. It is very hard to get extreme and outrageous by legal standards.
Wow.
I legitimately can't. Again, like the plot twist of him being like, "No, lady, that's why I stole your car. Your baby's coming with me."
I was really looking forward to the second plot twist where after the mom is standing over the guy, and then she hears a gun cock from behind her, and the baby holds a gun to mom and says, "Let him go,
Oh my God.
mama."
Let him go, Mom.
And then to briefly touch on the bystanders claims, the technical names for what he can, the charges he can bring against mom are trespass to chattels and conversion of chattels, which is basically just stealing something to such a large degree that the person can't use it anymore.
Okay.
In both situations, it's going to be mom's going to claim the defense of private necessity.
Okay.
And which will work because this obviously was a private necessity. She was saving someone's life. But private necessity is a qualified privilege, which means that she still has to compensate him for the damage.
Yep.
Okay, so she would still have to
Exactly.
pay whatever the insurance damages or whatever.
Like we said, she's not on the hook for stealing or anything, but the damages incurred during the public necessity.
Yeah.
That's public necessity because it's serving the greater good, and that's a complete privilege, which means if the government decides they need to destroy something to protect a fire from spreading, they can do that and not have to reimburse you. But private necessity,
which is
when it's,
extremely stupid, by the way.
For you as a private person to do something, then it's only qualified, so you still have to cover damages. So mom's not in trouble. She's not going to go to jail for stealing, but she will have to cover the damage to bystander's car, which is sort of a no-brainer.
Yeah, that does suck for her though.
So, Pridge, what you're saying is that when Frozone's wife was hiding his super suit, that was a crime because it was for the greater good, correct?
No.
But she is the greatest good he's ever gonna get.
No,
that's true. That's her
very good answer.
I love that that joke from that movie, by the way. The greater good. I'm the greatest good you ever gonna get.
It's fucking one of the best freaking Where is my super suit? Where is my super suit?
The city's in danger. My evening's in danger.
What about the woman? Think about the greater good.
I'm the greatest good you ever gonna get.
And then I love his face comes, he leans into frame, and his face is just so fucking done with it. He's like, I need to save the world, bitch. What are you doing?
Oh, I love it. Do you think his wife was a superhero at one point?
I don't.
Gosh, just
I
Mr.
think
Incredible
she's
and
normal, which is
Elastigirl.
why she's so. Yeah. I think that's what was unique about. Like, I think it's generally speaking, like supers tended to date or marry non-supers, because it was just too close, like too professional stuff, and that's why it was kind of like a big deal that Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl got busy and
Yeah.
had this whole family thing. Even Buddy kind of like noted that, yeah, this is unique.
Have you ever? It was making the rounds the other day. Because I think, by the way, Chad, I think we covered most everything we wanted to touch on. But did you see it was making the rounds the other day? That there was a bonus feature on the Incredibles DVD back in the day that was like interviews with a bunch of different like in-universe superheroes.
Oh yes, I have that.
Did you watch through it?
Yes, I have that DVD. I'm looking at it right now. But yes, I watched all those bits. They have like a whole bunch of there's a little bit of like a hint at these interviews happening in the beginning of Incredibles 1. Like when they're interviewing Elastigirl, leave saving the world up to men? I don't think so. It was all those caves set up in that kind of way, and they did it for Gazer Beam. They did it for a whole bunch of other sippers that both showed up briefly or didn't show up at all in the actual film.
So I actually, if you haven't seen it before, chat, I think you should watch it. There's like a full cut of it on YouTube.
Looks
It's like
pretty good.
30 minutes long. It actually is really good world building as to why the superheroes ended up getting outlawed. Because a lot of the supers in it are
Incredibles
just
has some of the best world building I've seen, like of my generations, like creative like writing stuff. Like it's really good in detail.
yeah, because like the start of the movie doesn't necessarily do it as much service as it could. Because all of the things that happen are like, look, the superheroes tried to save people, and like, yeah, people got hurt, but the alternative was just them straight up dying, right? If the superhero wasn't
Yeah.
there. But the interviews with the superheroes actually does give like good world building as to like, no, some of these guys are just psychos because they are just like a normal human being who happen to have superpowers, and not every human being is going to be responsible with that. Like, if we really did have a universe where tons of people just randomly had superpowers or not, you're gonna have a lot of bad eggs that are kind of shitty. Like, there's one of the strongest superheroes in the interviews basically makes multiple references to the fact that he's like a superhero supremacist.
Yeah, I remember that. There was a lot of like pretty interesting statements the creators of The Incredibles made. Not just in like those little extra interviews, but there's like a lot of extra content in that DVD for The Incredibles that they just didn't have, including some amazing storyboards for deleted scenes, and like we're talking like 30 minutes or 45 minutes of like extra content that they included in this DVD. It's not like perfectly animated or anything, but it adds a lot of context, and like, wow, this movie could have been even better.
Yeah, it's a good thing to watch through. It's very fun. One chick used to mind control to NTR cheerleader's boyfriend. Yeah, no, she's also quite a psycho. One of the girls had like the power to like put suggestions in people's minds, and she would use it to break up couples she didn't like so she could date their boyfriends.
Yeah. Yeah, tell me the writer didn't have a fetish there.
I miss DVD extras. They were fun back in the day.
By the way, D&D news, did you hear Critical Role is coming out with Campaign 4, and Matthew Mercer is not going to be the DM, he's going to be a player.
Interesting.
Yes.
There was a guy who could have any power he imagined, but in the files his weakness was just indecisive. Basically meant he could not hold his powers consistently. Fair. That would kind of be me too. Like if I was only allowed like 1 or 2 powers, I would just constantly be like, ooh, I want this one. This one seems cool.
Dude, I have spent so much time like building every version and iteration of Eva a certain way. If I was limited to like 1 or 2 powers, I'd have it down so fucking good. Give me air and speed.
What, chat? I
and
hope
the reason
you.
why air is a yeah.
Oh no, you're good. You want to keep going?
No, you're good.
Yeah, I was gonna say like thanks for coming out, chat. I hope you guys enjoyed our little legal analysis for the day. Even though we weren't specifically watching like another court case.
No, just doing fun hypothetical questions.
Yeah,
you got a lot more right there than I bet most people would have thought you would have.
People think I don't know anything about the law at all. Which, granted, I'm not saying I'm like a professional or I know a bunch,
proved
but
them wrong.
I try my best.
Say, though, that first question I would have gotten wrong too.
Yeah, that one threw me for a loop, honestly.
I read too much into the phrasing of the question.
Welcome to the puddle, Chris the Tiger. Unfortunately, we are about to head out. This coming up week, we should be back to Wednesdays. We were just doing Sunday because my work kind of fucked me over. Actually, real quick, I can double check it. Also, Nerdy Tech's an accountant for 5. I'm making homemade lemonade, homemade triple berry jam, and candied citrus peels, plus head pats. Forgot about that. Head pat. But let me pop open my my work app and make sure we are back to just the regular Wednesdays before I tell you guys wrong. We have a new manager, and he is kind of all over the place trying to figure things out.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Oh, yeah.
And by fun, I mean fucking infuriated.
Yep, we're back to Wednesdays next week.
Nice.
But thank you guys for coming out.
You heard it here first, chat.
Appreciate all of you. Next time we probably will do another court case. The court cases are very fun to cover. I'll try and find something you guys can really sink your teeth into. Let me see if there's anybody I can redirect you. You know what? I'll send you to this channel, even though they're kind of big. They're called New Game Plus. I kind of like watching some of their really weird challenge runs that they do. So you guys be good for them. Have a good day. And love you all. Peace out, guys.
See ya.